Just go. All right, we'll just start talking. Hey, what's
What's
good,
good?
everybody? Hey, what's that?
up?
What? Hey, man. What? Hey, why? Let's just do this. Like, hey, why not?
Why not?
Of course, CP time, baby.
Shout out Jonathan.
Look,
Shout out Jonathan.
yeah, of course, Jonathan, Engineers Black. Come on, man. Come on. Hey.
We got him screaming D-Lo.
All right, hang on. Just, all right. Young Dell, we love you, baby. We apologize for that. We had a little hiccup with our people over at KSFM and had a little problem with the board here. So, but we here, baby. We are live.
It was
pal.
unforeseen circumstances that
And them unforeseen circumstances be killing this market, boy. I'm telling you. Just be getting folks. Man, what do we do? Appreciate y'all bearing with us. Apologies for the scare. You know you can't miss a day of radio. Did they get fired? Oh God! What happened? Oh, we're here. We're here. Just silly
we
stuff
here,
we gotta deal
baby.
with. Welcome in. I don't even know how the show was supposed to start. I'm gonna be dead honest with you. I know. Is
Last
Jake
game-
joining us? Is that confirmed? You wrote it in the show.
Yeah, I put it in for the time slot. I'll check. I don't have a contact for him. I thought you did. I don't have a contact for him.
I want to go home. We'll
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. He will be here either today or tomorrow. We did talk about that.
Okay.
So,
All right.
with Jake, we didn't lock down a day yet.
Wait. Okay. You can see my confusion though, right? Like
I
it's
understand.
fine. Coach, I was like, why did he put him so close to where Coach Patrick is going to be? Like, Coach Patrick's going to be with us at 1:20. Jason Jones will be with us for a live version of J Street Vibes coming up at 3:15. Will Z will be with us to preview the final game of the first part of the NBA
Just say
season.
first half.
No,
just say
absolutely no. I refuse. I'm not calling 57 games into an 82 game season the first half. I will not do that. It's the first part.
That sounds whack.
No, it does. It sounds stupid. It sounds ridiculous.
I mean, you're not wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. But you didn't have to say it like that, as Stephen A would say.
First part of the NBA season wrapping up. Kings will close out in Phoenix. Phoenix suddenly in fourth place, by the way. I was watching Dallas and Minnesota last night.
That was a nice little finish.
And if you missed that fourth quarter, boy, you missed a Kyrie out there thinking he De'Aaron Fox. Fox and Kyrie. I think the stat was De'Aaron Fox and Kyrie are the only two players in the league with multiple 20-point fourth quarters.
Wow.
I think Kyrie had something obnoxious like that. I think last night was his fifth. De'Aaron has two. And no one else has more than one.
Did you watch that game?
Yeah.
Did you feel like some type of way is probably the wrong way to put it, but like Luka's not comfortable in that spot?
No. Actually, I think that was I thought that whole conversation on are you talking about the final possession or the whole fourth quarter? No,
I mean, he still
actually
had a good game. He got his numbers up.
Yeah.
He had a couple shots late in the game too, so there's that.
I didn't think that. I thought like Kyrie was cooking. I think Luka recognized that and let him rock. They both pointed to the final possession. You know, Luka said, I was trying to get him a shot. He was trying to get me a shot. Fact is, Minnesota played defense.
That was great defense.
Like they were incredible. Like Kyrie couldn't get a look. I know he said, guys, I'm sorry, everybody. I wish I could just get a shot up. He couldn't. Like both of those guys were being defended ferociously. And when Kyrie tried to go to someone that wasn't Luka, he just kind of misplaced the ball a little bit. It got lost, wound up being a turnover, and that's how the game ended. But I thought Luka was fine.
That team has a huge issue. Their defense is horrendous.
Well,
it's horrendous. And the only time they play JaVale, I guess, is when they play the Kings. And that means there's no rim protection.
It's good coaching.
Yeah.
It's good coaching.
There's no rim protection. And if those guys aren't on, if Luka Kyrie and Christian Wood aren't on, that's going to be their Achilles heel. They don't play no defense.
We'll talk about it. We are very literally just getting started. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there. We appreciate all of you so much for spending this day of love with us. Jake Gadon just replied, "Hey, what time am I scheduled for today?" I got you, bro. I'll hit you on the text message here in just a little bit. Will Z,
give me his contact, please.
Will Z's going to join us. We'll get this show on track next here on Sacramento Sports Leader, ESPN 1320.
You know what happened, and it's my fault too. I meant to put, sometimes I say that and I'll put like question marks.
Like, yeah, you didn't put the question mark.
Marks. That's my bad.
I'm gonna see if what time. Let's see. I'm gonna see if you could do. Unbelievable. We need these days off. If there was ever a sign that we need these days off, this was it.
They heard us on KSFM too.
Unbelievable. And you know what?
We weren't talking shit.
You know what the sad part about that is? No one noticed.
Right.
No one noticed. Like, how is that possible? Like, that would, I hate to be that guy, but back in my day, there ain't a chance in hell that would happen.
Right.
You sneeze on the air, you'd get 10 calls. Hey, your mic is hot.
Right.
We had a full-on conversation over Travis Scott and SZA.
Over Kill Bill.
Jesus, man. Like, what are we doing?
Appreciate it, Jordan. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, that is a good one. That's one of Dave Garcia's finest, for sure.
Oh, shout out to Don is dope, man. I got caught up on that as I was walking in. Wow. Wow. Moves being made.
Mm-hmm.
He might cry. The man himself. He might shed a tear.
Yeah, he might. Oh, crap. Man, Will is right. All those that everyone I sent a link to needs a new one. Oh man, what a day. Okay, thank you. I was just trying to get us back on. It's on its way, Will. Will, Jake, Coach Patrick.
Let's just restart and do Valentine's Day all over tomorrow.
Let's get rid of Valentine's Day, actually. Valentine's Day is
and Jason
unnecessarily expensive.
All right, Jake is good. We'll have 145.
Okay. Appreciate you, Jake. Thank you, sir.
Sorry, everyone. We're still kind of catching up a little bit. We had some issues in the studio today.
Did you know that you can get into the All-Star game for $500? It's not that high.
Yeah, I believe it. It's not really it's not the All-Star game. It's everything else.
Yeah. Saturday night probably costs more than
Probably.
All-Star game.
Probably. What's up, William?
Hey, we made it. What's up, guys?
Will Z, what's up, man?
Touch and go. Will. Touch and go, man.
Oh man,
Joe
one of those
already on
days.
my report. Oh man, you ain't lying.
We gonna make it.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. How about you guys?
We're good, baby. Now that we're a professional radio show.
Brian,
on
that's
the air.
what's up, man. They out in, they going all the way to Phoenix, huh? Or are you guys in Phoenix? I don't know, but either way, that's what's
Let's
up.
go. Let's go.
That's what's up, man.
Represent, baby.
Tell them to say light the beam when the Kings are up by 12 with 2 minutes to go. It's happening.
In the first quarter.
Whew. I don't think there's been a chant that hasn't resulted in a win yet, has there? We haven't gotten to a game where fans are chanting and they lost.
Yeah, I don't think we've had one bite us
We've
in the
been
butt
pretty
yet.
safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty safe with the win.
It's only conservative Keegan Murray who's like, still.
Oh wow, the Eagles are losing both coordinators.
Yeah. Yeah. The team that lost the Super Bowl
Hmm.
is losing both coordinators.
Hmm. I'm telling you, I'm not gonna say they're gonna fall.
I need-
to the earth, but that was their shot.
I need a full-on study into Eric Bieniemy. There has to be something we don't know or don't understand. I need a 30 for 30 on Eric Bieniemy's process.
Right.
It's crazy. I heard Baltimore's in play for him.
For an OC.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, I wouldn't leave.
All right. Here we go, Will. Jesse said, take a deep breath. And
We've been
what
here,
we
baby.
did,
We're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right. Hey, like they always say, you know if there was a mess up. They don't. So you just keep rolling.
We started the show 7 minutes late.
I think today they knew.
They might know that one.
On to that one.
Hey, it's just
I admire
we did it for dramatic effect.
I
Dramatic
admire-
effect. Casey here. Act like nothing happened.
I admire that line of thinking for sure. But when you started 12:08
This was like sneaking out, and then you come back, and your mom's right there at the front door waiting for you. Like they knew.
Yeah, and then you just be like, "What's up, man? Hey, what's going on?
Hey, Cheryl,
What's going on?
what's happening? What's happening?"
I got a story about that one day. Well, I'll tell it on the next commercial break.
We appreciate you for being with us here on this day of love. And we know there's nothing you love more than stats. And the guy who loves stats more than anybody is here with us, our man Will Z. He writes previews each game over at ESPN1320.com. And, of course, the final game before the All-Star break, it is the Sacramento Kings and the Phoenix Suns tonight in the desert. Will, let's start with Devin Booker. How different does Phoenix look with Devin Booker back in the lineup for the first time in a long time?
He's such a good scorer. I think they've won both games. He's played two. They've won both of those. And he just brings, especially with Durant still out, that kind of scoring punch that they were missing without Booker, and part of the reasons that they were struggling. But one of the things that I noticed for Booker coming back is that it doesn't seem like he's gotten his rhythm back quite yet. So his percentages, he scored 21 and 19 points, which is a good number for coming off an injury, but he's shooting 39.4% from the field and 29.4% from three in those two games. So compared to his season averages of 47.3 and 36.4, he just hasn't quite found that rhythm. So if you're the Kings, just one more game at least before he finds his rhythm. You can't let him get it going tonight because he's going to eventually.
Yeah. I mean, he's such a dynamic scorer. He's such a elite scorer out there.
Yeah.
In some ways, you got to concede that he's going to get his buckets. I mean, that's kind of what happened in that first game. I thought Davion and everybody else that was guarding him did a pretty good job on him. There was a number of different times that Davion was right there. You couldn't ask for better defense. And Devin Booker just made the shot. He's a tough shot maker. And sometimes you got to, what does Jeff Van Gundy always say? don't overreact to the results. Trust your defense. If you play great defense and he rises and hits a shot, don't get down. Don't get upset. Don't think, oh, we got to change everything right now. You don't overreact to it. Keep doing what you're doing, and you got to hope that he's not on, because if he's on, there's nothing you can do anyway. So you just make him keep working, and I think that's the best way to go about it with Devin Booker. Just don't let him get the open looks.
And even if he does score 40 after the trade and the injuries and KD being out, who else on the Suns is going to score? Are the others going to be able to score 140, 80 points? Can you get 80 from everyone else?
Right.
That's tough.
Yeah, that's the same thing I was talking about with Dallas. It didn't happen the first game because the Kings didn't get up there. But in the second game, that's exactly what it was. Luka and Kyrie, they were good. But where are you going to get the other 70, 80 points from?
Yeah.
I'm guessing they're not coming from Chris Paul. You had some really interesting numbers on Chris Paul in the restricted area that I think are worth pointing out.
Man, it blew my mind. Every once in a while, I'll find a stat where I have to kind of double check it. So Chris Paul, he's played 37 games. He's only taken 16 field goals in the restricted area. So that's right at the rim. That's less than half per game. And when he does get to the rim, he's not making them very well. He's only shooting 56.3% in the restricted area. So if you're the Kings, you have to know that and know he's not looking to drive. He's to the point in his career he can still hit a bucket from the mid-range. He's shooting 38% from three. But know that and take that shooting aspect out of his game, get up on him and make him try and get to the rim, which he clearly doesn't want to do.
Yeah, if I was defending Chris Paul tonight, he'd have to take 15 to 20 shots at the rim. I need to see it, right? Once again, don't overreact. If you're playing him to pull up at that mid-range spot, whether it's you're guarding him one-on-one or you're Sabonis or Lyles or somebody helping off that, I'm attacking that mid-range and making him blow by me. If he does it one time, I'm not overreacting. It's the game plan. This is what we're going to do. He's going to have to do that about 8, 9, 10 times for me to even think about, all right, maybe I need to play him different tonight, because you laid out the numbers, Will. He's just not going to the cup right now.
And that doesn't take into account fouls, because fouled shots that don't go in don't count as field goal attempts. But I mean, still the same, like 6, even with fouls, 1 a game, like you said, Kenny, like you have to make him prove it before you start adjusting, and maybe you just never adjust.
You had some numbers, and I thought this was a great compare and contrast, because clearly it indicates that De'Aaron Fox is a Hall of Famer and is going to be labeled one of the greatest guards of all time when you compare his numbers to Chris Paul in terms of the restricted area, Will.
Oh, it's night and day difference. So while Paul has the 16 attempts, Fox is at a nice 189 field goals in the restricted area, and he's making them at a 75% clip. It's just phenomenal what he's doing. That ranks 32nd out of the 287 players with at least 50 field goal attempts, and 5th among the 134 guards. So he's just, when he gets to the rim, he doesn't miss. I mean, he does, but for a guard to be that high in percentage is just what allows him to be an all-star and take over games.
Yeah. And you talk about De'Aaron Fox getting to the cup, and that you saw a correlation with the game on Saturday, right? Where they put up 133. What they make? 8 3-pointers?
Yeah.
Yep.
8 3-pointers.
Yeah.
They made 23 free throws. That's a good amount. That's not like they made 40, though. Like everything else was inside. They get 74 points in the paint, and De'Aaron Fox had a lot to do with that, man. So we're seeing the versatility in not only De'Aaron Fox's game, but it's spreading into the whole team and what they're able to do on offense.
Yeah, and I tweeted this out this morning. It's kind of what James was saying yesterday during his segment, is that the Kings offense has that ability to score kind of on every level, and Herder's been sneaky good in that as well. So I looked it up, and there are 10 players in the entire NBA that are shooting at least 70% in the restricted area, 50% in the non-restricted paint area, so the floater range, and 40% from mid-range. Of those 10, 3 are on the Kings.
That's insane.
Fox, Sabonis, and Herter.
That is
Wow.
nuts.
Yeah.
That is absolutely nuts. We are the greatest team that ever lived. It's not the Warriors. It's not the Bulls. It's they're going to be debating, and all the old guys in 5 years are going to be debating whether they could have beaten. It was Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant are going to be sitting around a fire drinking his cognac, talking about, yeah, we could have beat that Sacramento Kings team.
Yeah. And it's just the versatility is how you really have to pick and choose. So I see it going either one of two ways, where defenses will take away the inside or the outside, the three. But even if they don't, the Kings have the versatility to take exactly what they're given on any given night. So if teams are taking away the three, like Dallas did, they'll get inside. If teams are clogging up the inside, cutting off Sabonis and Fox, then the Kings get all the open shots from three. And it's what allows their offense to be the top offense in the league for this long stretch of the season. They aren't a one-trick pony like a lot of other teams.
Primo J has it nailed. We are them.
Yep.
We are indeed them. Love the new logo, man. That's sharp. I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was playing around with, I tried to do the percentage sign. I wasn't super happy with how it turned out, but put it out there. And then some people had the idea of doing just the Z, and I'm obsessed with it now. I love it.
Oh, it's great. Yeah.
The Z's a game changer. He'd be like Zeus in No Holds Barred.
Now you have to carve. You have to carve it. You don't know who Zeus is, don't it? You have no idea who Zeus is, do you?
If we're not talking about Greek gods, no.
No, and you don't know what No Holds Barred is.
I do not.
Do you know who Debo is?
I'm learning.
Do you know who Debo is? Not Debo, the 49ers Debo, but you don't know.
Oh my God.
I'm so sorry.
Go to Twitter and watch the movie.
I need more education.
Somebody get Will a bootleg copy of Friday and then send him a bootleg copy of No Holds Barred, and then he could get all caught up on who Zeus and Debo are. I got some ideas for this logo. We'll connect offline about it. I'll hit you with one last question. There's no reason with Kevin Durant not playing, Landry Shamet not playing, like Mikal Bridges doesn't even wear a Suns uniform anymore. There's no reason the Kings should lose this game. If they do, Will, what beat them?
Devin Booker and Chris Paul.
Another 80-point performance.
80 piece from two of them. If Chris Paul and Devin Booker combine for more than 70, I think that's
Chris Paul.
Well, I mean, this is the crazy thing about the Suns. They got ball players. Like, I agree with you. The Kings absolutely should win this game. I'd be disappointed if they didn't, but it's not out of the realm of possibility for Paul to go for 15, but Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton go for 33 apiece.
So that's the name. We have not talked about DeAndre Ayton.
And then Damian Lee might hit 17. Damian Lee had a big game.
It's definitely possible.
So,
and Ayton's in that list of 10 with Herter, Fox, and Sabonis. He's hitting, so you have to look out from him on multiple levels as well. I should have written more about him, but you can only write so much. So look out for Ayton as well. I just don't see him as such a dynamic scorer. I feel like he's more opportunistic with them not really running the offense through Ayton. Right. But, I mean, all those opportunities can add up on any given night.
And does he have the muscle? Because you know how strong Domas is. Yeah. Like, does DeAndre have the muscle to get in there and hit bodies like that?
That's he does. His game, his shots, like Will talked about. You know, he didn't say it in this terms, but he kind of gets the scraps, right? You know, he gets the pick and roll situation. If they commit too much,
and the Kings let guys have those.
Yeah.
Steven Adams feasted off of those.
Right. So, I agree with you, Damian. I'd be highly disappointed that the Kings lost this game. But you look at the roster, they got 4 guys that could go, 2 guys that could go for 30, 2 other guys that go for 15 plus. And that's, I don't know where the math is at that point, but it feels like that's enough to get you close to 100, and then, you know, a couple other guys get some scraps.
I'll text Doug Christie to say, hey, don't let this happen. We figured it all out. Don't let this happen, and you'll be just fine.
Is that his scout?
I believe this. I believe.
Singular. What? Scouting report.
Why are you so worked
Scouting
up?
report. Scouting. This is my scouting report.
That's what you're worked up about.
I don't know why. I don't know when it went to scout.
Probably a
It's
long time
clean.
ago.
It's fresh.
Yeah, why are you so worked up over that?
Isn't that improper grammar?
Oh, now we're worried about improper grammar?
I'm always worried about improper grammar. Always.
All right. You're the best, Will. Enjoy a couple of days away, and we'll be ready to get back at it next week.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a good one.
All right,
Will.
Thanks. That's our man Will Z right there. Check out his amazing work. I mean, the bulk of his great work is on social media. So go check out Will Z stats there. But he also does some great stuff over on ESPN1320.com that you can check out. Also, while you're at ESPN1320.com, go to the contest page. You can enter to win tickets to see the Sacramento Kings take on Portland,
Oregon.
At the end of the month. Indeed, they're taking on Portland, Oregon at the end of the month. I don't know who scout Portland, Oregon is, but
I'll say Lindsay's.
Yeah, I don't know. That was that's the only game, right? The first game of the season? Is that the only one they've played so far?
First game of the season.
Or it was the first game of the season.
They've got that one, and then they've got a back-to-back with them.
Wait, guys, if we win, we're going to light this beam from the top of the Golden One Center. What? Yeah. It's a purple beam that shoots to the sky.
All right, whatever.
Okay, Kendra.
Whatever.
I think you're a little overworked right now, buddy. Have a seat. And lo and behold, the defining image of the Kings season is that beam.
The Kings told the Anaheim Angels, no coincidence I'm wearing their hat today, but told the Anaheim Angels, we sampled your voice. You was using it wrong. We made it a hot line.
I made it a hot song.
They told them.
Sacramento Kings, I stumbled across this in The Athletic this morning. Sacramento Kings, 8th in the power rankings.
Moving on up to
that's they're still listed as a play-in tournament team or better.
Well, the barista just can't even.
Philadelphia 7, Memphis is 6, Cleveland is 5. That's the brink of contention tier. And then Phoenix, Denver, Boston, and Milwaukee in the contenders tier. I have a question about Phoenix.
Okay.
I'm going to hold off a little bit before I ask you. I want to ask Jason Jones too.
Okay.
But I got a question about Phoenix, particularly as it pertains to like right now.
Phoenix looking tough, man. They're looking tough.
I got you, and I do not disagree.
Josh Okogie, watch out for him.
Just got a question. Former
Okogie, Damian Lee.
Timberwolf?
Yep.
I don't know why that was stored. I have no clue why that was stored in my mental bank.
I don't know either. He probably went off against the Kings.
He probably did.
I thought his name was Jake, but it's Jacques Londale. I remember him. He did some work in the preseason. He might have did some work when they played him the first time too. Keep your eye on him.
The little barista said, no offense to Kessler Edwards, but I'm surprised the Kings didn't really do anything at the deadline. After finding out Kevin Durant had been traded to Phoenix, they had roughly 12 hours to complete another deal to help on the wings or the interior. Monty McNair decided not to do anything. I don't hate the idea of the Kings standing pat, considering the train is moving well, but it would have been fun to see them take another swing.
Shut up, little barista. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Now, did you see that report?
Can I read the what's next part since you just laid into him a little bit? It says what's next. Here's what the little barista wrote. The Kings are within reach of the number 2 seed in the West. All those chants of wanting 40 wins this summer are out the window. This team is going to shatter that, and they have a real chance at 50.
That was nice of you to say, little barista. You still can't come to the Golden
still
One
can't
Center.
come.
Absolutely cannot come. You're not welcomed. Seats taken.
You can
don't know about that.
You can sit in Doko and watch the beam get lit, but you can't come inside.
Yeah, go to you can go to Tom's Watch Bar and watch the game.
Facts. You can go there. You know what one of the hotels I was looking at in Vegas was? Your favorite one.
Oh, the Circa joint?
Yeah.
That's downtown.
What?
I was disappointed when I saw that.
Is it what is it? The rooms are nice. It's a really nice hotel.
Yeah.
But I was like, is that Kenny's? Oh yeah, that's that thing Kenny's
that
talking
thing is
about.
fire. Did you hear that all rooms are booked for next year?
The Super Bowl. That's why I told you. That's why I told you to go look.
That's impossible. That's impossible. I'm calling cap. How all rooms gonna be booked?
Well,
the Easy 8 motel is booked too.
Well, those are always booked in Vegas, I think. Those are reserved for the flyers that you get when you're out there walking around. So, place is horrible.
The Hilton Garden Inn off the strip is booked. No, it's not. I wish people would stop with this fake news. This is not.
It's not
all
fake.
hotels are not booked.
It's not fake news.
All hotels are not booked.
No, they're probably not. The NFL probably has like 10 of them reserved. And then the rest of them are like, well, let's just block them, get people to sign up for some sort of email blast, and then act like rooms have become available so we can jack up the price.
Yeah.
The price isn't the price anymore. Like it does, like we were talking about this with concert tickets. It doesn't cost $500 to go see Beyonce. It costs whatever the market dictates. And the market in Las Vegas isn't the same as the market in Santa Clara, and it's not the same in Los Angeles. The tickets for like the floor they're like $2,500 in LA. They're $2,200 in Santa Clara, and they're $1,500 in Las Vegas. Same seat. It's not the price of the ticket. It's the price that the market dictates the ticket is. It's like eggs. Wait, they're paying $6. Let's jack it up to $8.
That's craziness right there.
And as long as they keep buying $8 eggs, we're going to keep charging $8 for them. As long as they keep buying $5 gas, we're going to.
Why'd I do that to eggs?
They figured, it worked with gas. Let's do it with eggs.
That's ridiculous.
We're being played so bad.
And then they'll sneak
We're being
down.
played
Like by the
so
summer,
bad.
they'll sneak down back to regular price. And they'll find something else to
I don't even know what the hell
jack up.
regular price is for eggs anymore.
I'd say I'll accept $3.
Raiders officially informed quarterback Derek Carr that he has been released. Team released him before $4.4 million in contract became guaranteed today. Carr is now a free agent and is expected to draw interest from the Saints, Panthers, amongst others. That according to Adam Schefter. No surprise there. The deadline was 20 minutes away. Derek Carr officially released.
I thought it was they had a whole day. It's tomorrow.
No, they have 20 minutes. It's 1
I thought
o'clock
it was
today.
3 days after the Super Bowl.
I think it's 1 o'clock today.
Doesn't matter. He's released anyway. But
yeah, I think it was 1 o'clock today. 8 isn't the highest that the Sacramento Kings are if you search around power rankings out there. CBS had them at like 6th.
That's what I'm talking about. CBS. Let's work.
We letting CBS into the cookout now?
Oh, for sure. For sure. I don't have no problem with CBS. The only thing they did is they had Avery Johnson talking about Buddy Hield still on the Kings or whatever. He wants out of Sacramento.
Yeah. Well, that's all right.
Little general. It's okay. It's okay.
He's still employed, huh? Because like at some point you just like
they did it twice.
Avery. And it wasn't like twice in successive days. Like he did it twice, like a long time apart.
Right.
They only have Avery on to come talk about Buddy Hield and the Kings. That's it.
That's fantastic. Our Kings insider, Avery Johnson. Somebody send Avery. Somebody send Avery a damn media pass so he can get in here to the Golden One Center and see that Schiavone's not here no more. Somebody get Avery Johnson a damn media pass. Alvin, get your boy.
The man did it twice, man. Come on, Avery.
Little
general, man. Come on, man.
He's gonna show up to the game confused as hell. Buddy's not there.
Hey, where's my man, Buddy?
Buddy Hield. He absolutely is one of the top shooters in the league. And if the Sacramento Kings want to have an opportunity to make the playoffs, they have to find a way to get Buddy more involved.
It's a little too close to your Chris Broussard.
Chris Broussard is a little louder.
He's louder, but he's got the same.
When you talk about Buddy Hield, it's always one of those things
they sound exactly the
that
same.
you don't know what you're getting.
But you hear how they sound exactly the same, right? One's really loud. CBS said the Kings had consecutive Texas two-steps this week, going 3-1 in doubleheaders against the Rockets and Mavs. Saturday's win was one of the more entertaining games of the season as they spoiled the debut of the Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving pairing. There, can we come back to that line, that specific line right there when we get back? Because I do want to get back to that. We'll talk more Kings basketball.
And
we forgot to do.
I want to talk to Lil Barista and all those others out there.
Okay.
For just a second when we come back.
Coach David Patrick coming up, Jake Gadon coming up, Jason Jones coming up. That's all I had here on Sacramento Sports Leader, ESPN 1320.
There's a pizza party going on out there if you guys want some pizza.
Apparently.
I do want some pizza. It's not time yet. It's not time. There's never any time.
Kenny hooked on them caffeine pills.
I love pizza, man. I love pizza.
Is that like the goat food?
I mean,
and I don't mean like those fancy steaks, none of that. Like none of that
steak
stuff. I'm
is
talking about
crazy.
like just pizza, sushi, stuff like that. Like is
Something you
pizza
can
the
just get
goat
real
food?
quick. I mean, I love seafood, right? So, well, no, I might say crab is the goat or gumbo or something. But that I get what you're saying. Hey, it's Friday night. Let me pizza. Yes. No, I'm almost never. I can say I'm never disappointed when pizza's involved. Never. You know what isn't very good? It's like they need to stop. Like nobody really cares that much. Is that Chicago style pizza? Trash.
Oh, that's trash.
Trash, to be honest with you.
Is that the one where they do it backwards?
No, it's
just,
super
like, really
thick.
thick.
Oh.
And they're like, this is the way you eat pizza. Somebody in here said tacos over pizza. Like, I love tacos, but tacos can be messed up. Pizza
you
can't
can-
really be messed up.
That's true. No, there's no such thing as a bad pizza. There's just one that's not as good as the others.
I disagree.
Some people's tacos could be whack.
Definitely, absolutely. You
Yeah.
could screw up tacos too. You could screw up any food.
Not a hot dog.
I would never eat a hot dog, so it doesn't matter.
I like hot dogs. Costco. Shout out Costco. Shout out Costco. Still doing it for the culture. Pino. Look, man. Look, we don't fold our pizza into 4 different folds over here. We don't do that. You have a slice, you eat the slice regular. It's not hanging off like the Ninja Turtle pizza. You know what I mean? But yeah, we make pizza over here. You guys know my favorite out here. You already know what it is. Shout out Slim and Huskies, man.
Oh yeah.
Shout out Slim and Huskies.
You guys do cold pizza like Jay Hardaway?
Not regularly.
No, never actually.
Cold pizza is disgusting.
Yeah, never. Costco has good pizza too, by the way. Mm-hmm. Yeah, David J. Lucky Charms are trash. Not my bag. Absolutely not. People in New York fold that damn pizza like it's a origami. Ain't that what those things are
No,
called?
I think they just fold it once, don't they?
They need to stop.
I don't think they fold it and then fold it again and then bite it like it's a sandwich.
Have you guys ever seen someone eat pizza with a fork and a knife?
Yeah, that's that Chicago stuff. That's what they do with those Chicago slices.
That's weird. That's
Chicago style really is the worst.
I don't. It's
It
not even
is.
pizza. It should be
No.
called something else.
Yeah, it's terrible. And they're like really like proud and brash with it, and it's
Like, nah,
terrible.
it's cool. You guys created like something of your own.
It's pizza surprise at most.
Pino, you ain't never been to California Pizza Kitchen. That's your problem. That's your problem. Pino, when you come here for the playoffs, bro, I'm taking you to Slim and Huskies, bro. You got that? You come here for the playoffs.
Oh yeah,
we're going to Slim and
that's
Huskies.
a must.
Even though Slim and Huskies isn't California style.
I don't think
pizza.
I've ever had Chicago thin crust. Jordan says Chicago thin crust. I don't think I've ever had that.
Never had that either.
I don't even know if I knew that was a thing.
Yeah. Hey,
Jetty House is a wild.
That boy would be a young Cole. All jokes aside, he has been nice on the keyboard lately.
Young
He
Cole,
has been nice. On the
Young Cole,
keyboard.
NBA Young Cove said New York pizza is a cracker with tomato sauce, cheese, and toppings. I don't know. Oh, there's a pizza party that we're not invited to taking place. I guess there's a big Valentine's Day celebration.
Just having a great time again.
Yeah, it
Just having a great time.
Started right at 12.
Started at 12.
Oh, and I'm sorry. Oh, it's nice that Mia came out to get a piece of pizza. Couldn't drag her ass out of the production office 5 minutes ago when we couldn't get on the air.
Just do this.
Yeah, no, don't do it your damn self. Oh, there's pizza here. Let me stop what I'm doing and take my ass over here to the kitchen and get some pizza. Okay, Mia, I see you, Mia. All right.
The cool part is we didn't even get the email for it either. Like, they didn't even tell us. Like, it's
No,
birthday
no,
party, guys.
No.
Nothing. Just had pizza dropped off. Got balloons out there. Candy all over the place. Hey, D'Lo and KC can't get on the air. Not my damn problem. Hey, pizza's here. Be right there.
I love working here.
Man. What unbelievable.
I love working here.
Y'all think like y'all everybody go to work and you want to throw hands every once in a while. Hey, we're exactly the same way. Believe that. Kenny's debating on the right time to go get pizza. Like, you seen these vultures here? You might go out there. That box is gonna be empty, bro. You better go grab a pizza and put it in a napkin and tuck it aside,
and
or
then
something.
it'll be a cold pizza. Nobody want that.
Well,
That's facts too, because this parking lot is as full as it's ever been today.
yeah, it's crazy. Wasn't Cold Pizza the original name for First Take?
That was Dana Jacobson and
Dana. That's right.
And I forgot the guy's name, but I think is he an ESPN anchor now? Maybe
Well,
he
I know
Oblivion. And
Woody
Skip was on there.
Woody was on there.
Woody was on there. Yep. And that's where Skip.
I don't remember who was on there with Dana.
Skip used to be on KMBR on whose show weekly. It might have been, I want to say Gary Radnich, but it might have been the show after him. But that's when I first got introduced to Skip. Like in the, what was that? That was probably 05 or so. And he did a weekly. And he was a jackass then. And I was like, who is this guy?
It's a stunner.
Yeah. And then I see him on the Cold Pizza. I'm like, oh, that's the guy that's on the radio all the time. And then he just turned his jackassness up.
I remember before Skip was rich, he was staying at the Residence Inn, half a mile from campus. See him walking in and out of the Residence Inn, coming from the free breakfast, just like everybody else. And then gave that man some money. I remember I met Jay Will at the lobby of the Residence Inn, his first day.
Yeah.
The first day he was doing, he had just come on as like an analyst or something. He was doing studio work. It was his first day. Like he was talking to Care about how nervous he was.
He's good. I like Jay Will.
I think he's very good too.
Yeah,
he's had a couple of
well,
missteps along the way.
Shout out to Jimmy Cozier, the first black coach for the Boston Celtics.
Man,
that's not even his name. What's his name? Did you watch the game on Sunday with the Celtics and the Grizzlies?
Memphis? Yeah, I saw him.
Did you see him? They talk about they play before every game. Did you see that, Jesse? His name, what's his name? His name's not Jimmy Cozier. It's
Joe Mazzulla.
Joe Mazzulla.
You see that?
No, what did he say?
Well, he says him and the coaches, they play pickup.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Game.
Joe Mazzulla he missed like 3 games because he got his eyes slashed or something like that playing pickup with the coaches. So he was out for 3 games because of that.
They played to 100 on the
100
court. Yeah, on the game day court.
They play to 100?
Yeah, 2s and 3s.
Joe Mazzulla's a psychopath, bro.
Yeah, and they showed
Who
a
says
clip.
let's play to 100?
They showed a clip, and sorry for the streaming people, but he like made a Euro step, and he's like here, and then he like paused and was standing here on one foot for like 2 seconds, and then went up for the layup.
They had that
Hilarious.
on video?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta see that. I did not see that during the broadcast. I've got to see that.
But I mean, hell, the guy's 34 years old. He
Yeah,
can
he
still
ain't
move.
old. Yeah. I've never heard anyone say, hey, let's run it to 100.
Yeah, to 100. And the whole thing was like, he gets like not pissed off, but gets kind of pissed off if he loses. Like he's arguing calls. You know, he said in some game like a day or two before, he said, "Nah, man, I'm gonna talk to the ref because we called an over the back call. Y'all didn't respect the call, and we lost the game."
I truthfully can't remember who's on that squad anymore. The coaching staff.
Oh, I don't know either.
I know. Like
Damon
I know
Stoudemire's on there.
I know the old staff. Like
Damon Stoudemire's there.
Damon Stoudemire, Aaron Miles.
Could our coaching staff?
No, I don't think we could. I don't think we can guard
DC,
Damon Stoudemire.
Barbosa.
DC. Well, Barbosa. That's
Lindsey.
Barbosa and Lindsey. That's a game changer.
But see, that's the thing. I don't even think I don't think Lindsey likes playing. I don't think Lindsey wants to play. But like Lindsey was, hey, we were talking about this before one of the games a couple weeks ago. Someone said, do you miss it? No, I don't, because she comes from working out. So she's working out in the practice court, the practice facility. She comes up, she's already got a full sweat on by the time Terrence Davis gets out there. And we're like, what are you down there running? Getting some shots up? She was like, I ain't doing that no more. I'm done. Like, I've already done that. Like, I'm not doing that no more. But no opponent would know that. So Lindsey would be the decoy because she's a bucket.
Yeah, she's a bucket.
And then Coach Shane worked down in the block. Yeah,
I mean, they got, like I said, they got Aaron Miles and Damon Stoudemire. That's two that I know off the top of my head. They could probably still go, but Barbosa's he could get anybody, and Lindsey, she could get anybody too. Yeah.
I'm confident. Like if Mike, like Barbosa could give you minutes right now.
I believe it. He'd be playing.
Yeah, Barbosa could
playing.
give you.
I think like I saw something where he's like, he gets in the scrimmages from time to time. He playing. I was playing last night against the 10-year-olds.
How'd that go?
I had to turn on the effing Jets.
Because
I didn't like the way he played on Saturday.
I hope you look better than Mike running up the floor.
Slightly. No, I look better than Mike.
Mike looked at Mike was really amped to turn on the effing Jets. That's one of the great videos of the season. Mike turning on the Jets.
It was. Yeah, I had to. I didn't like the way he played on Saturday, so I had.
What's this?
I had to go KG on him.
I don't want to forget
the cursing.
I don't want to forget. You know the what CBS said about the Kings, and you wanted to go at the barista and stuff. But what does that look like when 10-year-olds play poorly and Kenny's got to turn on the effing Jets? What does that look like?
I speak loudly.
Oh, okay.
I speak loudly.
All right.
I just demand a little bit more out of them. It's all just trying to.
Is this doing it while you're getting buckets on them though? Because you said
No, I didn't score.
Oh,
I didn't score. But it's like, if I'm playing and I'm screen's coming. Avery, get through the screen. Let's go. Ian, stop walking.
Is that the only walk of life that you get that animated?
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, and then like watching games, watching the
as
Kings
a
or the
fan.
Niners.
Okay. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, that's something I don't think you and I will ever experience together. Well, we do. We watch together in the media thing, but that's always.
Yeah, but if you pull up to the crib for Tank versus Ryan,
okay,
it's gonna be lit.
All right,
it's gonna be lit.
Okay.
We ain't playing with that one. You should have seen me when Wilder knocked down Fury. Boy, oh boy, it was turned up. And then Fury got
after?
his ass up. I was like, damn.
Can we also just collectively, all of us watching, listening, you, me, Jesse, anyone who catches this, can we all collectively just acknowledge when House of Highlights or Bleacher Report or random Kings fan 97831 on Twitter post a video
They're muted
of them of them breaking a television during a game, that it's a work.
Absolutely.
Can we stop? Eagles fans going through it? No, they're not. This is a stunt because you people keep blasting this out on social media as if it's like organic content. It's not.
No.
It's fake. It's not real. No one's doing that. And let's just all collectively acknowledge that stuff is fake, to not it, to not heart it, to not reshare it. Just acknowledge y'all
No
are played.
tweets, nothing.
Y'all are played. This is old. Stop it.
Do better.
Like Michael Jordan said in Come Fly With Me on a commercial. Get help. Stop it.
Yeah. No, they and you know, even more than Kings fan 9743, who once again is muted.
Yeah.
Look, if they get, you know, sucked into the work and all this, whatever. Bleacher Report, overtime, like you said, House of Highlights, do better.
Do better.
Do
Yeah.
better. That can't happen. The last time those things were real was the Seahawks Super Bowl. That was the last time those things were real. And I get a huge kick out of watching those compilations on YouTube. They were pissed. They were hot when Russell threw that ball and it got picked.
Those really are the best videos, though.
That was the last time it was real. Was that Super Bowl?
Did you ever see the show The League?
No.
About the fantasy football league? So there was the opening scene of the next season after that Super Bowl. Marshawn Lynch is in the opening scene, and he's talking to somebody, and he's like, "Hey, hand me a beer or something." Marshawn, go long. Nah, bro, I'm right here. Just hand it to me. Just hand it to me. No, man, go long, go out. What could go wrong? Bro, just hand me the beer. And of course he throws it and it breaks and it all goes out. And that's like right shortly after that Super Bowl. I was like, that's when I knew. I was like, Marshawn's that dude. Marshawn is
nice.
that dude.
Real quick, speaking of viral video, did you see the thing that was floating around with the snakes?
The snakes.
You see that?
I think I missed
The snake in the ceiling?
Yes, the family of pythons in the ceiling.
Yeah, that was scary.
I did not see that.
Whew. Now it wasn't in America, so that was a good thing. But I mean, I don't even know what you do. They were like,
move.
The caption was like, yeah, they were hearing weird noises in their ceiling while they slept, and they saw one snake was up there, right? So the people were trying to bring it down, and then they busted the ceiling, and like 4 snakes, pythons come falling from the ceiling.
Yeah, it was like movie snakes.
Oh.
And this was all on video?
Yeah, no, this was a shoot too. No, this was a shoot. This was a shoot. I don't like snakes, dog.
No, that's you asked what do you do? It's their house.
It's their house.
You have been overtaken. It is their house. You are listening to D-Lo and KC on KIFM West Sacramento, 98.5 FM, KRXQ HD2 Sacramento, ESPN 1320. I think we're the last of the HD2 stations alive based on that email we got yesterday.
We had plans for 102.5's HD2.
No wonder Aaron kept ignoring me. I was like, hey, bro, let me program. I'm literally volunteering something. Like, I will do this job for free. And he just kept looking at me like, yeah.
He said,
okay,
ain't gonna be there.
Get an email yesterday like, yeah, no, like these stations are no longer operational. How you just get rid of stations? Thankfully, they didn't get rid of 98.5 FM KRXQ HD2 because we wouldn't even be able to listen to ourselves if we
Some
did.
people thought they did earlier.
Well, unless you know what you're looking for, they in fact did. You just have to click on the Christmas station on your screen.
KSFM got D-Lo and KC behind the scenes earlier.
Oh, man. That's funny. We're always live on the free Odyssey app. Are we on the Odyssey app? Someone said we weren't. We are?
We were. They were wrong.
Okay.
They were wrong.
It was Kings fan 17892 that messaged us.
Do better tomorrow.
Andrew Wiggins out tonight versus the Clippers. That according to our very good friend Chris Haynes. We'll talk about the games tonight coming up here in just a minute. You said you had a message.
Yeah, man. So the little barista,
Mhm.
he talked about, I think he gave the Kings like 2 out of 10 for the trade deadline and all
Mhm.
this other stuff. And
Mhm.
that was a hot topic around these parts. Monty didn't do anything. He stood pat. They needed to do something or all this other stuff.
Mhm.
Well, I saw something today. Good friend Sam Amick
Mhm.
would be a friend of the show, but politics.
He's a friend behind the scenes.
Yeah, politics as usual.
Sam is paid handsomely to stay away from us. I don't blame him.
He was on the Ringer NBA show,
Mhm.
and he said on their recent podcast that the Sacramento Kings were very disappointed they didn't get Jared Vanderbilt. They were in on him and were trying to get him for 2 second rounders.
And
his
Vanderbilt was a part of the
Lakers trade.
Lakers trade. Yep.
So, like, I bring all that up to when people say they didn't do anything. They just stood pat it. Well, this is kind of what we were talking about. We don't know what they were trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about Jared Vanderbilt. They were trying to make a move, trying to make a deal for somebody like him. I'm sure same thing was going on for the Plumlees or anybody else they had on their radar. So I guess maybe your argument is, hey, it's a bottom line business. You either do it or you don't. If you're offering 2, make it 4 to make sure you get it done. But just when you talk about, not you specifically, but when people talk about, hey, they just stood pat, they didn't do anything. Well, like we talked about that
they
day.
Tried.
You can try all you want. If somebody's not willing to make a deal with you in a trade scenario or even in a free agent situation, you can only do what you can do. So, yeah, Monty and them were active during the trade deadline. Just no deals came about.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's tough. I mean, I don't know what you do to change that, right? If you're active, if you're making the calls, I do agree with Monty not overpaying for something or, by his standards, overpaying for something. Or hell, you could throw free agents into the conversation we were just having about concert tickets and hotel rooms.
Yeah.
No, that's the price for LA.
Right.
It's not the price for Sacramento. We've got a different deal for Sacramento. And Monty's like, I ain't making no aftermarket trade.
Right.
It's not what I'm doing.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I know we all want to believe that Monty was literally just sitting there and poking him with a stick. Do something. But that clearly wasn't the case. Can we go back to one quick line from CBS's? Because I know you mentioned the Athletics power rankings. We can go back to CBS's just for a second. And it's really the last line that stood out because we talked about this Friday when we thought we were going to see Luka Doncic. This doesn't change the context of the point because it didn't happen Friday. It happened Saturday. The last line, the Sacramento Kings ranked 6th here in the power rankings, above the Memphis Grizzlies, above the Phoenix Suns right now. The last line says, Saturday's win was one of the more entertaining games of the season as they spoiled the debut of Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving backcourt. If you go back to Friday, we were talking about the prospects of Luka and Kyrie debuting together versus Sacramento. It's going to put a lot of eyes on the Golden One Center. And perhaps it's in everybody's benefit that it didn't happen during Friday's game with the way that game went. Right? Of course, I'm changing a variable and expecting the outcome of the equation to be the same, that if Luka Doncic played, everything else goes exactly the same way. The Kings get blown out. Yeah. But everybody knew at that point, because Luka had said following shoot around, my gut is I'm going to play tomorrow. My feeling is I'm going to play tomorrow. Then a number of people started talking, and I know you heard this at the arena as well. This was the full-on conversation at the arena. The Mavericks were telling people Luka's going to play tomorrow. They did not want to play him in a back-to-back, and they decided they'd rather play him the second night than the first night. Right. And, word got out. That was a big Saturday night's game that James Ham said yesterday was the biggest win in 16 years. That CBS just said was one of the most exciting wins of the season. That game on Saturday was a big NBA game. Not a big game in Sacramento, not a big game for the Western Conference. That game had NBA eyes on it because they wanted to see Luka and Kyrie together.
Yeah.
And some people, whether they want to admit it or not, might have gotten exposed to the fourth quarter Fox or Fox and Sabonis doubles, those types of things for the first time in the entire year. You've gotten film, you've gotten clips, you've gotten highlights, you've gotten NBA TV or NBA.com packages, but watching a game in its entirety is a different experience. And I think a lot of NBA people were exposed to the Kings for the first time in that manner on Saturday because of the magnitude of that game with Kyrie and Luka debuting.
Yeah, absolutely. And even more to that point, it was almost a standalone situation. You had Lakers and Warriors at 5, but there was no other game. And the Kings Mavericks started, I don't know, probably in the fourth quarter of that game. And who knows who continued to watch that game with no LeBron, no Steph.
Yeah.
So if you were looking for NBA action, that was about it. And to your point, like a lot of these guys, they probably these people who cover the league might have been their first time seeing De'Aaron Fox and seeing what he does up close and personal. I'm not here to take shot. I don't have no problem with this guy at all. But Tim McMahon, I know he was in the building. He was there on Friday. I know he was there on Saturday. I'm not sure he saw the Kings all year, especially without being the first time Dallas had played them. So, this is a guy that is on a national podcast for ESPN. He probably saw for the first time what De'Aaron Fox was doing in a game. He might have saw some stats and saw some numbers in the past, but actually seen the way he was able to play. That might have been the first time all year.
Well, I think point
Fox
taken.
did it both nights.
But I also think he covers Texas in a way. Like I think he does
covers
a lot.
the Mavs.
Yeah, but I think he does a lot for Houston also.
Okay.
I don't know if he does San Antonio, so that might be a little out of pocket though. This year, you probably don't really need to cover San Antonio, but I do think he covers the Rockets a lot, and the Kings and the Rockets have played 4 times. But point being, I don't think I've seen Tim at a game before, and the Rockets have been here twice. Now that could also be where the Rockets were, right? Yeah. But
don't need to cover them either.
It speaks to the magnitude of that game.
Right.
People needed to be there. They needed to see it. They needed to watch it. They needed to be a part of that in its entirety. They needed to go to League Pass because Lord knows they're not going to put the Sacramento Kings on national television despite the national interest in that game.
They have not flexed them.
If they don't flex that one, like what game are they going to flex? Right. Like, again, that was a huge NBA game that they're just like, yeah, we'll use this to push the League Pass service. All right, man. I didn't realize last night's game was Kyrie's first home game.
Started in Los Angeles and then came to Sacramento.
Yeah, it didn't dawn on me because I was like, man, they are into him.
Yeah.
And then the broadcasters mentioned, oh, it's Kyrie's first time. I was like, oh, okay.
They're this sounds crazy to say, but they're a poor man's version of the Sacramento Kings, where they're gonna try and outscore you, but and not play no defense. I don't think they have enough scorers. They don't have enough versatility with the way they can score the basketball. It's Luka and Kyrie and Josh Green. I like the way he played. Like we talked yesterday, I like their team, but they don't have enough scoring and versatility in their scoring to be as bad as they are on the defensive end. I mean, I was watching that, and at one point you had, I don't even know, Reggie Bullock was your rim protector. You got guys that can't keep nobody in front of them, and then you got nobody to deter them at the basket. That's gonna be their downfall.
It's in so much of your scoring is going to have to come from those two, right? And they had Christian Wood last night in double digits, and that was it.
Yeah.
It was Luka and Kyrie, and Christian Wood had like 20 something, and then that, like, very literally, that was it.
Yep. Nobody else in double figures, I don't think.
You could compete with the Clippers like that because the Clippers are going to keep the score low,
right?
But I don't know that you could compete with Sacramento,
but
even some other teams.
Even then, you probably can't compete with the Clippers, even though they keep the score low. They're going to defend, and who's going to stop Kawhi and Paul George at the rim?
Yeah,
nobody.
Yeah, and no one's going to stop our conversation with David Patrick Sacramento State.
Wonder what he thinks about the Kings. Wonder what he thinks about viral videos.
We should ask him.
Yeah, just anything except for
Yeah, let's just avoid the word Hornets. We'll make some small talk with Coach David Patrick when he joins us next here on Sacramento Sports Leader Stilo and KC on ESPN 1320. So we got Coach. We'll close out the segment, and then Jake will be right after that.
Okay.
No, we was gonna talk to Joe tomorrow. Was that a plan?
Yeah. I'm gonna reach out to him.
So I have Joe and Hammer tomorrow. I like Dinwiddie too.
I do like
IPH. He'd really help Dallas.
Dinwiddie, he used to come into my gym that I worked at in LA when he was 13, 14 years old. He's like one of the guys from there that made it. You know, one of the kids that made it. They had like a travel team circuit or whatever. And I think he was too good to even play travel ball. But he used to be in there every day. I don't know if I thought he was going to be an NBA player, but I do remember him. He was good. He was real good.
Jesse, you good? Oh. Dr. David,
check on the pizza.
Huh?
I'm gonna check on the pizza.
Yeah, go. You might want to. Well, in boxes is disappearing. It's good especially if you like scotch. Like Dr. David, have you ever had? I gotta respond to your message too, Dr. David. Have you ever had Blue Label? That's what Deacon tastes like. I have no clue when they're releasing this. Black Bottles 916 was supposed to bring us over their next release, and that's the one I think people are really going to go nuts for. But the scotch is good. The first thing I thought when I tasted it was this tastes like Blue Label. So if you like scotch, it's strong, pretty smooth. Yeah, if that's your vibe, I think you'll like it. Yeah. Yes, it tastes to me it tastes exactly like Blue Label.
If I didn't go then,
Pizza safe. Yeah, see? I told you.
I got the scraps.
Is there anything left?
A little bit.
You better go get it.
Yeah, go now.
Better go get it.
Go now.
Sovereign Brands is coming out. So our, McQueen and the Violet Fog, Luke Belair, that they're coming out with it. Yeah, a little bit. Yep, it absolutely does. Yeah, it's not a sweet flavor. It has no like caramel aromas or nothing. Probably the best way to categorize it is a little smoke. Again, like if you like scotch, you're going to love this. If you're not a scotch lover, you probably won't. Because there's how the McQueen, for those who've had the McQueen has a really unique taste to it as it compares to other gins. It has a really unique taste. This is just a really good scotch as opposed to this is a really unique scotch. No, it's just a really, really good one. I can't wait to test what's next.
I never even had. I don't think I've ever even had scotch.
I don't think you'd like it, to be honest. I don't think you'd like it. You like the bamboo, right?
Yeah.
Do you like the XO, the black bottle?
No, I didn't like that.
Okay, so then you definitely won't like scotch.
You see me?
What did he just do?
He got his apple juice.
Oh.
I was wondering what it was. But see me, I'll drink pretty much anything in a certain setting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't usually drink scotch for sure. Pour it up. Watch it all fall out.
Yeah,
it's Mountain Mike's, by the way, people. It's Mountain Mike's, just pepperoni. So,
what else is up there? Like cookies and cake
yeah, little cookies. Yeah.
And like the Valentine's candy no one likes.
Ugh.
Why didn't they
It's
just
gotta
get a
be-
bag of Snickers fun
It's
size?
got to be Kimberly's bag. Kimberly walking around with a big giant heart on her shirt. We go.
I have no idea what's going on here.
How is it cut?
It's not. It's just not cut normal. It's not like triangular.
Oh,
Blame Chicago.
do we have a problem with the square cut pizza?
Mm-mm.
Okay,
No, but
That's
it's not
how-
as good though.
it's not
That's
as
how
good.
Slim and
It
Husky
tastes
do.
different.
Well, it don't taste it, but it's not as crispy. You know, if you get it from the middle.
That's how Slim and Huskies.
Yeah,
taste it.
yeah. That's how I make it. Only because the pizza stone I have is rectangular. It's not round.
That is a good point though, Jesse. I mean, I do like crust. You know, and with the square, there's some slices that have no crust.
Yeah, I don't want mushy pizza.
There ain't no. Well, I guess it depends on how big the pizza is.
Yeah, there's gonna be there's gonna be about 2 or 3 squares in the middle that have no crust. Potentially.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. You know what the crazy thing, Adrian, is? I don't love it. Like, I like it. I don't love it. Like the Deacon, I'm gonna save for people. Like people are gonna want that for sure. Coach David Patrick, Sac State Hornets, going to join us coming up here in just a heartbeat. Jake Gadon confirmed live during the show that he's going to be with us. Jake, of course, of CBS 13. He'll be with us coming up here later on this hour. And then Jason Jones for a live version of J Street Vibes. Join us in the 3 o'clock hour as we welcome in our coach, David Patrick, coach Sac State men's basketball team. Coach, we never disappoint you, man. We here for you. Coach, how you feeling, man? Talk to us. We here for you. You talk to us today, Coach. We got you.
I need some counseling. You know what? I'm okay. I'm okay. I thought we had after a tough road trip, probably our best practice since November. Today just kind of went away from the drills and got back to just competing the way that we had been all year. So I'm coming a little bit more happier today. But I wasn't feeling good on Saturday night after that game.
You know, Coach, you look at, going to Northern Arizona and going to Northern Colorado, and, it's just weird places to go to, on the road. Like, I know the records weren't great from those teams, but you get them at home and you've played. It's just weird places. And, no matter what the record is, that's going to be a tough game to play. And it just, I watched both games and it just seemed like the guys were in a little bit of a funk, man. They couldn't find a rhythm on both offense and defense. And you see those things from time to time on the road in conference play.
No, well, definitely. And I tell my guys, you want to split on the road, whether in the, with your opponents, which we did with this group, right? We beat them both at home. But what was disappointing to me on Thursday and Saturday was we didn't find that groove. But I think the one good thing about this team that everyone, I think, would attest to is, like, if we get punched, we usually punch back and we're resilient and we come back in games. And I didn't find that I didn't see that fight Thursday. And I didn't feel it Saturday. And I think that starts with our seniors, and I held them accountable after the game to it. And I think they've taken the lesson learned and at least applied it the last 2 days in practice.
How long does it take for you during a game to figure out they ain't there right now? They're somewhere else?
Probably after the first 4 minutes of the game. You can tell, and because it's that time of year, right? It's the grind. It's February, in the NBA they get the All-Star break. We don't get no All-Star break. We get, once it's March, it's over for us if you're not still playing. But it's the grind of the season, and you can feel it. You can see it. For me, it's like in the first 4 minutes, like, are we setting the tone? And even if we do get hit, are we punching back? And the young guys and on any team look to the upperclassmen for that. And usually our upperclassmen have that swag with them, and they just hadn't the last couple games. And some of it's injuries, some of it's whatever it may be. That doesn't matter. Everybody's injured this time of year. You've got to push through and fight through these next few weeks of the season, which I think we will.
The good thing about your conference and your situation, Coach, is it's almost no harm, no foul to a certain degree, right? What happens during league play, because this isn't an at-large type of conference. Like, it's all going to come down to that conference tournament. And Eastern Washington has been great, but you've proven that you can play with them, and you guys have proven that you can play with everybody in this league. How do you kind of shift the focus, maybe as a coaching staff and with the guys, to be like, okay, we're not where we want to be right now, but let's use these next couple of weeks to get in good habits so we're playing our best basketball going into that conference tournament, and we can still accomplish every goal that we had set out at the beginning of the season?
Yeah, you must have been in our meeting Saturday night after after the game. And that's it. Like, you want to be, crescendoing towards the end of the year, and that's where we're at. And I think all our goals can still be attained. But it starts with guarding like we're supposed to guard, rebounding like we're supposed to rebound, the guys getting shots that are supposed to get shots, and the guys that get shots making shots. And I was listening to Coach Brown last week, and I kind of made an example Thursday and Saturday. I played the young guys a lot. I played guys that hadn't played for us. I started guys that hadn't played for us.
The coach ain't happy. Coach ain't happy with the seniors right now. I saw that.
Because I'm looking for some consistency from them. I'm looking for the effort from them. And I think for us to be good as a program moving forward in year 2, year 3, and obviously this year's not over, I think the guys in the program need to know, like, I'm going to sit Zach Chappelle and Callum if they're supposed to be the best. I'm going to sit whoever if you're not doing what we expect you to do for the betterment of this, for our program and our team. And I think they got the message when they showed up at practice yesterday with a different bounce to them.
That's ballsy move. Not everybody's willing to set their best players. Like, okay, I'm gonna hold everyone accountable. I'm gonna hold everybody to the same barometer, even if it's our best players. And it's good to hear that the guys responded to that, because we talked about this. Kenny just mentioned this. We talked about this last week. Your goals are still attainable. As frustrating as I know this stretch has been for you and for your team, your goals are still attainable. But is that message being heard? Like, do they know, hey, it's right there for us?
I think they were yesterday, because I had a lot more dudes watching film with me in my office yesterday than typically have been, and then their approach today was different. And I talked to the older guys. I had a meeting with this eight guys that are the older guys of the group that have played the majority of the minutes, and this morning. And I said, man, just trust. Do you believe me now that I'll sit? I don't care who you are. If you're not playing, that doesn't mean making shots. That means playing with effort and energy and connected. If you're not doing it, then we can move on, to the young guys, and now call my bluff again if you want. And I think they know, where I'm at and what we're about, because they're still getting to know me,
And the other thing about it, when they have these games, watch them on TV, they always put up the graphic of, if the Big Sky tournament started today, and you guys are still in that situation where I think you start in the quarterfinals. There's like two games before you guys will play. And that's still a good spot to be. I mean, you win that first game, all of a sudden you're in the semifinals. And now, hey, win one more game, you got a chance to go to the NCAA tournament. So I think, and you probably done this as well, your coaching staff has probably done this as well. It may seem like the sky is falling and all this other stuff. We're still not far from where we want to be. Just a couple of things, a couple of minor tune-ups that we got to change to get back on track the way we were earlier in the season.
100% right. And the teams that beat us, their records aren't great, but they've lost a lot of games by 1 point, 2 point on the buzzer. Northern Arizona, I think, was on number one on sports Saturday night. They lose with a Hail Mary with 0.4 seconds to go. So those teams are good, even though their records don't speak for itself. So it's not like we're losing to bad opponents. And it also means you better bring it every night, because anybody can get got.
Mm-hmm. Is there something different? You think that what's different like now versus earlier in the season, if anything?
I think for any player now, and it's the growth of a player, we've played 25 games. So if you can only go left, they're going to force you right. And if you can't shoot, they're going to stay in the paint. And I think that's where you see the pros being so great. Like, everybody knows their weaknesses and they're still able to score. And there's enough intel on us now of what we're doing offensively, what players we're going to, what everyone knows we're going to Zach or Callum at the end of the game. Like, but can you play through that? As a team, and that's what we're dealing with now. We're also dealing with, like 12 wins isn't a lot of wins for me, but we got some guys here that are content with having 12 wins. Some guys that come from other programs that haven't won this much. So we're dealing with learning how to win, learning how to be consistent, learning how to, fight through adversity. That stuff you got to go through, on a young new team.
Yeah. Senior night coming up on Saturday. You've seen a lot of different senior nights. How is that a difficult game to coach as far as like managing the emotions and, trying to get people to lock into just the game? Because it is, there is pageantry there of, being the final home game for the seniors, and, there's emotion there and things of that nature. Have you found that that's I'm sure it's a different game to coach, but is it something where eventually people settle back in, or you're kind of fighting emotions from the players all game long?
Yeah, look, I've seen it go both ways. I've seen it be too emotional early, because we have so many seniors, especially with this group. I think obviously Zach is one of the headliners. Chappelle Lee, that's a senior graduating, so I'm sure he'll have the whole city here supporting him. So you're making sure that they play, for the name on the front of their chest, not the back, and on the front of their jersey, I should say. So it's a tricky deal, but obviously something that's special. And even for me, my first group of students that are going to graduate from here, which is the most important win to me out of everything. I think it's just a good moment for me after year one being over so fast here at Sac State.
Let's go, Coach. Come on now.
We
got 2 home games.
We still there,
man. Let's go. Come on
still there. He's still there. Let's go.
I'm good. We're good, man. I'm serious. We had a good practice, and Weber's good. We owe them. They're a good team. They got one of the best players in the league, but we lost that game on the buzzer at their place, and so I think that hurt is still in our guys' heart. And we lost to Idaho Idaho State on the buzzer, shockingly. So 2 games that we're hopeful we can get this weekend, and starts on Thursday night.
Kenny was yelling at 10-year-olds yesterday. So if you need him to come in and he'll be ready.
I didn't like the way we played on Saturday, Coach. I didn't like that. We gotta, I'm trying to get them in good habits now. So by the time they get to you, then they already know what basketball is.
Coach, what they were doing you weren't pleased with.
They just weren't playing hard.
They were 10,
enough.
Coach. They were 10.
They weren't playing hard enough. You know what happened? You know what happened, Coach, that I didn't like is we lost by 1. No disrespect to the other 10-year-olds, but because the other team played harder than us. Like, they played hard. They weren't as skilled, but they were tough as nails. They were tougher than a $2 steak, and we didn't match that. And I said, all right, I'll see you guys at practice on Monday. And they saw me.
And heard him.
They saw me.
You sound like me. Yeah. You sound like me. I love it.
Like I said, the whole goal is by the time Coach Patrick gets them, they already know from Coach Kenny how to play basketball. All you got to do is show them the plays. They don't have to learn how to play basketball. That's the goal.
As long as they're tough, man. That's the main thing. The toughness travels.
Go get them wins, Coach. Good luck this week.
Thanks, D. Thanks, KC. See you.
Appreciate you. That's our man, Coach Patrick, right there. Yeah, I think there is, because Coach has brought that up a couple of times, and it's something I've heard before. When you come in and you take because he kept using, he's used the word, if you go back to some of our conversations with Coach Patrick, he's used the word content a couple times. They're content with it. They've got more wins than they've ever had. They're content with where they are. It means once you get above that number, if team's never won 6 wins, 7 wins, 8 wins before, and all of a sudden you're sitting in here with games to play, you got 12. Man, you feel like, yo, this is the best I've ever done in my college career. Like, I'm not on a losing team anymore. Like, I'm good. That's the content that, like, I've heard that before. So when you coming in, you're the first, your first year there. Now, this isn't what Coach said, but you've got to weed those people out, right? Whether they graduate or they move on or transfer or whatever, because you can't have people who are content with losing because you're not losing as much, but you're still losing. Right. Coach Patrick isn't the first college coach I've heard use the word, too many of these kids are content. When you take over a bad basketball program and you come in there and you win a couple of games, you're 20-3 or something like that. The goal is an NCAA championship. not to not be as bad as you were last year, or a Big Sky championship, or whatever goals you set out as a group, whatever goals you put out there, those are your goals. It's not to not be as bad as we were. Ain't nobody's goal. Like, you want to take those steps to get better, but when you've got goals that are still in place, you can't be content.
Yeah.
And it's eye-opening to me. Coach Patrick mentioned that. I think it was like either last week or the week before. I started thinking, man, that is a word for young coaches who are taking over programs where they only have so much control over the roster, right? Especially early on. And, now as Coach Patrick enters his next year and his next year and his next year, Coach Patrick isn't going to have to question his kid's toughness anymore.
No,
because he ain't going to recruit a kid that's not tough.
Exactly. That's one of the things I'm sure he's going to be looking for when he brings somebody into the program, and somebody that always is looking for the bigger picture, right? Always has their eye on the bigger picture. There's steps that come along to get into that picture. Like, do you want to finish above 500 in league, or, get 15 wins? Absolutely. That's not the end game. That's just one part of what you're doing. Once you have solidified 12 wins, all right, now we want to win conference. All right, well, job's not done. Job's not done just because we got 12. Remember, like you just said, our goal is to be an NCAA championship team. That's our goal.
Yeah.
Like, that's how high we're shooting. And we're not going to get there winning 15 games. We're not going to win there, just get there just winning the Big Sky. We're got to keep striving to the point where some of these other mid-majors, a St. Mary's, a Gonzaga, something like that. Like, that's where we're trying to get to. And
we're not going to get there being content.
Exactly. You got to keep striving. Like, any little accolades you get, you can acknowledge them, because you want to acknowledge. I talk about all the time. You win one game, man. I'm high-fiving. We win a game. You always celebrate the wins, but you got to be able to celebrate. All right, move on. Time to go to work. Some kids don't do that.
That's probably true, though. It's not just kids. That's with college basketball, college football, college sports, with any athletics, right? There's a measurement of success in wins and losses, and it's, in these cases, they're very, very public measurements of wins and losses. But I think that's also a personality trait. It's a mindset. Like, you could apply this conversation we're having to ourselves.
Absolutely.
Anybody in any walk of life can apply this conversation of being content at work to their own life. And how far do you want to go? How far are you willing to go to get there? What's impeding you from getting there? Are you able to get through all of that stuff? And are you accepting that you're just further along than where you were before? It's one of the great things about the roster turnover for the Sacramento Kings. We talk about how there's only a handful of players, Rashawn Harrison, De'Aaron, and is that it? Rashawn Harrison, who have been here since Monty took over.
Yeah, that's it. Davion was the year afterward. Yeah, I think that's it.
There's no room for being content there. Like, there are guys, you've weathered through the bad years on this team, 2-3 years, whatever it's been since Monty's taken over. But we know that's not De'Aaron's personality. We know that's not Harrison's personality. Truthfully, I don't believe that's Rashawn's personality. These guys aren't content with the fact we're so much better than we were before. But I think it was you that brought it. Like, this isn't house money. We talked about that at the trade deadline, or I think James mentioned that there was a conversation about house money at one time. This is not house money, especially for those guys. They want to get better. What are their goals? Are their goals still attainable? I'm guessing every single one of them still is. It's not just, oh, look, we won more games than we did with Luke. Oh, look, we've won more games, since that year with Dave Yeager where no one believed in what we were doing anyways. You can apply this conversation of being content anywhere, to the Kings, to Sac State, to other college basketball programs, to D-Lo and KC at ESPN 1320, to Manny, hooking up internet everywhere, whatever, Dr. David being a doctor, whatever you do in life, you can apply this conversation to. Just not all of us have a coach there to remind us, hey, This isn't it.
Right.
We're as much as I love those guys, we ain't here for a 40-win season.
Right. Yeah,
Our
man.
goals are bigger than that.
And it's always the mentality.
Somebody send me those brothers' emails, by the way. We got to get them on this show.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's
As
always
soon as they get to 40.
it's always one of those it's like the mindset of always like thinking about what's next. You know what I'm saying? Like what's next? Like you did this. All right, cool. What's next? Like really, to be honest with you, if you're of a certain mentality, job's never done.
Mm-hmm.
Ever done.
Yeah.
Like, what's next? Okay, we trying to make the playoffs. Cool. What's next? Trying to advance in the playoffs. Cool. What's next? Trying to win a championship. Cool. What's that? Trying to win another championship. Cool. What's next? Well, Jordan got 6.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to win 7. Well, damn. Okay. If you ever won 7, I'm trying to get further away from everybody else. Like, it's never done. It's never done. There's always something else to achieve. There's always something else to try to attain. And
are you willing to go get it?
that's it.
And it
That's
sounds
it.
like that's the talk coach had to have with his squads. Are you willing to go get it?
They're still
'Cause
there.
it's right
man.
there.
Yeah, they're still there.
It's
Everything
right
is
there. Y'all gonna
right
lose
there
on
for
Greek
them.
night? Y'all gonna lose on senior night at home? You better not. Because our goals are right there.
Is Greek night what I think it is?
Yeah. That's Thursday. But Jazz, Kenny's got to work on Thursday. So
you know, I be loving Greek night, boy. I tell you, I love Greek night, man. Oh, Golden One at the Hornets Nest, it don't matter, man.
did they have Greek night at the Golden One Center?
I mean,
Close enough.
HBCU night, they're all there. All their booths are there.
Yeah, they were. They sure were. I never felt so invisible in my life, standing next to the.
Who's this guy?
Yeah, that's what they were saying. Hey, who's this guy? Trying to hold it down, just trying to do my part.
I always say if I did ever pledge I probably would have pledged Kappa.
There's always like Kamara's part of a fraternity, and like that brotherhood looks strong.
Mm-hmm.
It's some of that initiation stuff I can't get past in my head. Like it's like, hold up, do you want me to do what?
It's a little trippy.
Yeah, that stuff's a little.
You know,
wild.
you could get in right now.
Get into what?
You could be in a fraternity right now.
Ain't nobody letting no old ass man in the
Yeah,
fraternity.
they will. I was talking to the guy on that night, and I told him that. I was like, man, if I would have pledged, it probably would have been Kappa. He's like, you still can. I was like, that's not the same. I wouldn't want to do it that way.
Did you get the paperwork? Like, how do we? Like,
yeah, you
get the application?
We
like,
can do it today.
D-Lo and KC be, I guess we would be honorary brothers. Is that how it
We'd
would be?
No, you'd be in there. You'd be in. You can do it whenever you want to, but it's not the same as like the process obviously isn't the same. I think the process is, half of the. I wouldn't want to do it that way. But I've known plenty of people who've done it like after school, and
I don't know anybody who's done that except the Will Ferrell movie. Blue pledged.
Yeah. I don't even think they were in school when they did.
No, they were on campus.
Well, no, I mean like the people I know who've done it. After, like
I thought you were talking about old school.
No, they weren't even in school no more.
You think Jake's part of a fraternity?
Yes.
Yeah. Bro. I don't know. Jake Gadon's going to join us. He went to Arizona State. Yeah, Jake's definitely part of a fraternity.
Yeah,
he's definitely part 100%. Of a fraternity. We'll find out where the paperwork is at. See if we can.
Okay. We Kappas? We going Kappa?
Who sent you the idea? Who were you talking to?
It was a Kappa.
Well, let's do it.
The cream guy is a Kappa.
Mike. Okay, good. You got to be careful here.
Come on.
Yeah, the ice cream dispensary. Our man Mike. Yeah, our man Mike. Our man Mike is okay. But Mike, we got to get Mike on this show, man. He's a hard dude. Oh, Kamara's on the line.
They saying I look like a Sigma.
Well,
I ain't got no problem with the Sigmas either. It's all love for him.
Kamara's. Ain't no way we can get Kamara on and off this
and we
phone
got
in 30
Jake.
seconds.
We got Jake coming.
Kamara, you got to tell Kamara to call back in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But shout out to Kamara for listening. He obviously knew we was talking about him. We'll come back. Jake Gadon, CBS 13, joins us when we return here on Sacramento Sports Leader, ESPN 1320.
Yeah.
Was Kamara calling to tell us about his fraternity? Oh.
So for a little bit this morning, me and Jazz were watching a Tubi movie. It starred Marcus Houston and Erica Mena.
Wow. Marcus Houston. Was Kamara calling to tell us about his fraternity? Was he listening?
I think, well, he called earlier. I think he just wanted to talk today.
Oh, he just wanted to
talk.
Okay. That's all right. Might as well make Kamara weekly at this point.
Oh.
Honestly.
Give him a time slot.
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
I'll piss off.
What? I give a frat member vibes.
What? A black version of Old School with Cedric the Entertainer, Martin, and Clifton Powell. Clifton Powell got to be in all of them. Clifton Powell Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah, I got you. Broke, 5 broke. We ain't got it.
Oh, man. I still can't believe we got on the air late. Just the sequence of events that lined up perfectly for that to happen.
Yeah, that was something this morning. Not even morning, but you know what I mean. There was a point where I was like, we might not even do the show today.
I was like, when Jonathan was struggling, I was like, okay. Because it's not like we're at home and we could just do the stream. It's like, if it's over, like if we can't do it, we can't do it. I'm like, wait a minute, what? What? What's all the noise that Luka would want out of Dallas? I didn't hear that, BC. Where you hear that at? I missed that.
I think they're good off that now.
Oh. Your mic's not on.
But there's no guarantee they keep Kyrie.
I still think he's a Laker after this year.
Kyrie.
Well, could be. They were talking about Phoenix too.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely get to this. Where does Derek Carr go? Cavs 38-22. What's that in reference to? He said y'all's feds. That's funny. Now I'm questioning what time I told Jake. Jake has been an adventure today. See, I told Jake 1:45. Just got your email. Hopefully he got the second email. I'll send them the link again. We're waiting for our good buddy Jake Gadon,
Was
CBS
Jake
13.
listening? Is that how he?
Truthfully, I don't know. I saw his name in the sheet, so I sent him the link for the show. And there's our guy right there.
There he is.
Our man Jake Gadon, broadcasting live, I believe, from his home, looking very similar to Tony Romo right now with the backwards hat.
Hey, the hair game ain't working, guys. All right, that's why.
That's all right. That's all right. It's strong Tony Romo vibes.
You see me, man. Come on now.
Hey, I have a flow here, Casey. You just had nothing up there. Okay, it's just nothing. All right.
It's clean.
It's not there no more.
Y'all
Straight up.
We were debating moments ago. We talked the last time you were with us, Arizona State University. You are a part of a fraternity, aren't you?
Yes. Yes.
And what fraternity is it?
KA. How'd you guys know?
You give off.
Just vibes.
You give off strong fraternity guy vibes. That's
I would have sent that clip to my group chat after this. They're gonna die. All right, they're gonna straight die off that.
Strong frat bro chives from our vibes from our man Jake Gadon. Official introduction. Our man Jake, CBS 13. Kind enough to join us here. Let's actually, we want to get to the Kings and all that stuff. Let's dive into this for a minute, as this is news today. And we were just asked, Derek Carr officially released. It's news, but it's not. We all knew Derek Carr was going to be released. He was officially released today. What now? There's going to be quite a few suitors for him. Where do you think he winds up? Or where do you think is the best spot for him?
I liked Houston just because I like what D'Amico Ryans is going to be building down there. I think that's a good fit. It's a low expectation type of scenario for him, because the bright lights you saw this past year, they were on him. They got everything he needed, and he still wasn't able to perform. And by the way, don't tell this to my partner, Sarah Hodges, at all, because she'll freak out off of this. But I think DC could go there. I could also see him in Miami if Tua doesn't the protocol stuff doesn't work with him, and he's out with with concussions. So those are the two spots for DC, and it's sad because I thought he was in a great position in Vegas. McDaniels was supposed to be this wizard that helped him do his thing.
I do want to point something out really quick, because this is coming across a certain way, and we've talked about this before, and I feel like we should let everybody know listening. Jake is a Patriots guy.
Yeah.
So Jake might feel a little bit different about the Las Vegas Raiders head coach than virtually everybody else.
That's the truth, though. It's the gosh darn truth, okay? You don't win all those championships without McDaniels. I'm sorry, okay? I think if you ask anybody in New England, Josh McDaniels is like literally the cream of the crop. He's the best thing since sliced bread. You go to Vegas, he could be worse than some things that you find at 5 o'clock in the morning on the strip. Okay, like let's be real about this. Like I think New England appreciates him more, mainly because of the years he had with Tom Brady. And truthfully, I thought if he stayed in New England, he was going to be a guy that was going to take over for Bill one day. But virtually the rest of the country hates him in Denver and in Vegas.
Well, and here's the thing about it, Jake. Josh McDaniels may be a great football mind. I'm not disputing that. He just may not be a good head coach. There's people who are good coordinators and good head coaches. The difference between McDaniels and other people is he's gotten the opportunity to show that he's not a good head coach or potentially not a good head coach. Some guys just get pigeonholed in the coordinator spot for their entire career and never get the opportunity.
Yeah, look at Eric Bieniemy over at KC right now. I don't think he's going to get another call for a head coaching gig. Am I wrong?
No,
he had the one interview with Indy, and I think that was it this cycle. It's like it went from him getting a bunch of interviews and not getting a job to now he got one interview. Like at some point, I just don't know if he's going to get the interviews anymore.
I think he's going to have to go somewhere else and prove he can win with an offense that's not centered around Patrick Mahomes. That's personally
he's going to literally have to go do something that no one else has been asked to do, because no one said Josh McDaniels has to go win without Tom Brady. He got the Denver Broncos job, which was far from a bad job when he got it. He got this Las Vegas Raiders job, which was far from a bad job when he got it. And there are other coaches who wind up in Houston.
They went
for
to the
example.
playoffs last year.
That's right.
The Raiders did.
And the fact that McDaniels took over and couldn't take this team to the playoffs, and they went to the playoffs the year before, is just, it's bad. Okay, let's be real about that. Okay,
The
like
fact that he called this a project is what
Davian, best clip ever. Okay, right there, my man.
Oh,
All
man.
right, gosh darn.
so ridiculous.
That was wild when he said that.
I will say this, though. I think he turns it around year 2. I think the offensive line had some serious issues with it, and I think it started there, and that's why DC struggled so much. But I don't know who you're going to get that's a better quarterback unless, Aaron Rodgers comes out of this mythological area that he's about to enter into and says, oh, my God, I'm seeing black and silver. Let's go. I don't know. It's going to be interesting for them.
I agree. I think there's a good chance he goes to the Raiders, though. I think the Packers are done with Aaron Rodgers. Like, they're kind of sick of him, just like everybody else in the world is, and they're ready to move on from him and his money. And I think it's a real possibility that he goes to the Raiders. And I don't like Aaron Rodgers, but he's still a hell of a quarterback. He's a good quarterback, and you give him Devontae Adams again, and maybe Darren Waller, and we'll see what happens with Josh Jacobs. I mean, there's going to be weapons on that offense for him to work with. And here's the dirty little secret about the Raiders. Unfortunately for them and their fans, they not only were in a lot of the games, they had sizable leads in a lot of the games. This season could have been a lot different if they would have kept 2 of the 17-point leads, not even all 4 of them, 2 of them. You know what I mean? And this could have been some different things. So, Jake, maybe they're not as far off as it seems, but they're going to need to make up for Derek Carr not being the quarterback no more.
You like Jimmy G there?
I like Jimmy G more than other people do. I was about to ask you, do you like Jimmy G or Derek Carr better?
Oh, Jimmy G.
Well,
Why?
Just like a New Englander.
Well, that's classic New England for you. But I think I like Jimmy G better, mainly because of a operator under center. I think he's a better clutch type of player than compared to Derek Carr. I think DC, what he has the edge over Garoppolo is the health stuff. Like, Jimmy G just can't stay healthy. But when he is healthy and he operates the offense well and doesn't turn over the ball and doesn't make bonehead mistakes with under 2 minutes to go, which is just sometimes, you'd think most quarterbacks can do that, but most quarterbacks can't. And that's the difference between a good quarterback and an elite one. I think I would take Jimmy G over DC any day, just because of the way that he is able to operate an offense and not stall out.
Interesting. You're listening to D'Lo and Casey on KIFM West Sacramento 98.5 FM KRXQ HD2 Sacramento ESPN 1320. Always live on the free Odyssey app. We're live on YouTube.com/ESPN 1320 as well. Twitch.tv/ESPN 1320. Jay Gadon from TV. CBS 13 Sacramento is with us. It's been a fun season covering the Sacramento Kings so far. Your first, as the first part of the season wraps up tonight in Phoenix. What do you think about this squad, particularly coming off that incredibly exciting win on Saturday?
Isn't it interesting that they were able to win with Luka and Kyrie on the floor, but couldn't win with Luka not playing that night? I thought it was interesting. And I also was interesting to see, I was looking at watching the game back, the pace that the Mavs played at on Friday was much faster than they did on Saturday with Luka. I think it's just very interesting. And I think Dallas, you can even see the game last night where another tight one at the end where Luka and Kyrie couldn't figure out who was going to take the game winning shot. I think that they got to figure that thing out. But talking about the Kings, I'm excited to see what happens. This Western Conference got so much tougher. You have Kevin Durant. You had a really, Clippers got better. The Lakers got better. Everyone got better aside from when you say better, I mean trade acquisitions at the trade deadline got better in that respect. Do I think they should have made a deal at the trade deadline? Yeah. I think they had to add some resurgence to this team. I think you're putting a lot on Domas and a lot on De'Aaron to carry these guys down the stretch. And I wonder how that minutes total is going to be when we get to, game 80 or whatever it may be. I'm excited, though. This is a team that I think is going to finish in top 6 in the NBA standings. This is a team that will be a reckoning to play against in the postseason, just because they're not only just good at home, but they are one of the only Western Conference teams with a winning record on the road. So like the location doesn't matter for them. It's not like a team where they have to have home court advantage, and they match up really well. Like, I love the idea of being able to put Harrison Barnes on your best forward or best, guard for the opposing team. And then you have De'Aaron taking the point guard every single time. Where it's going to get sketchy is, one, keeping Domas healthy, because if he goes down, you really don't have anything there. Like, literally, like, there's just nothing there big wise. And two, I would like to see Keegan Murray maybe take one more step this year, just to formulate a big three, if that makes sense, between him, Fox, and Sabonis. Herter is a great piece. Just got to get his 3-point shot back to where it was. And Barnes, we've seen it. When that dude goes off, Senator Barnes, he's rocking and rolling.
Yeah, I like this roster as is already. Like, they have holes. Yeah, I understand it. You probably want to back up a traditional backup big or whatever, but I just look at what they're doing. Jake, I'd like to get your thoughts on this. I've been saying all year long, yeah, I want them to play better defense. 100%. Don't get it twisted. I just yelled at a bunch of 10-year-olds for not playing good defense yesterday.
Yeah, you did.
Right? Like, it's just I want to see better defense. But this team, what they can do on the offensive end when they're clicking, and to be honest with you, even when they're not clicking, right? What they could do on the offensive end, there's very few teams in the league that can match up with that. We saw on Saturday, Luka and Kyrie, and a guy like Josh Green playing good, Chris Wood. Dallas is going to be absolutely formidable on the offensive end. They couldn't keep up to what the Kings were doing when they weren't even hitting 3-pointers that night. So I really look at what they're doing. It makes people uncomfortable, and I understand why. But what they can do scoring the basketball is almost second to none in this league. There's only a handful of teams maybe that can keep up with them on a nightly basis scoring the basketball, and I think that's what makes them special.
No, I agree. I think the offense has been killer this year. I think it's been the driving force, and it starts with De'Aaron Fox and those clutch points with less than 5 minutes to go in the game, to be able to close out these big games and everything like that. Here's the problem, though. When you play in the playoffs, defense is going to win championships because everyone in the playoffs can get a bucket. Like, everyone can get a bucket, right? So, like, it's going to be interesting in this second half on how much the offense is going to be able to power them through to the finish line. But if you're talking winning playoff games and playoff series, it is going to come down to that defensive mold that they're going to have. And that's why Mike Brown's kind of having them buy into it right now. Because it's going to be interesting with all these trades, man. Some of these teams, the separation is going to get there, right? Because like everyone in the Western Conference is so stinking tight right now. It's like everyone's on top of each other. I'm excited to see some separation and seeing the men from the boys.
Jake, we appreciate you for joining us, especially since no one told you.
Yeah, let's say what's going on with that, guys. All right,
hey Jake, I realize I ain't got your info, man. You got to shoot me all your stuff.
No, straight up, I'll DM you right now.
Hey, one more quick question that I was thinking about you this morning as I saw this, because we mentioned you're a Patriots guy. Chiefs just won their second Super Bowl. They've been going to AFC championships like crazy. Are the Chiefs a dynasty?
No. Give it 10 years. Give it 10 years.
10 years.
Settle down.
Okay.
They're not a dynasty.
Not yet. I think, Kenny put it perfectly on a Sports Sunday, okay? They are a great team for the past 4 or 5 years. They have a great quarterback, a great head coach. But you've got to sustain this for like 10 years. And I think a guy named Joe Burrow might have a thing to say about that. So I think it's going to be interesting to see if they can sustain this. But again, KC's hats off to them. That's a great win. And for all those Eagles fans out there listening to this right now, you got lucky. You had the easiest schedule in the regular season.
Tell him, Jake.
Easiest path to the playoffs. I have a really good friend of mine named Amanda, who I absolutely adore. She's the worst Eagles fan on the face of the earth. And I will tell you this to her face every single time. You are lucky. You will not be back here next year. And if you will, I will come back on this show and speak all of this back into existence.
Tell him, Jake. Jake out here
Shit.
speaking facts.
Okay.
Straight
Speaking
Both
facts.
of you guys need to settle
Speaking
down.
facts, man. We
All right.
ain't worried about no Eagles no more. This was their one shot, and they blew it. It's over. Back to the doldrums.
What are you going to do? You got to replace your offensive and defensive coordinator. All right. Those tiers that Sirianni had aren't going to replace them. I'll tell you that much.
Sirianni not gonna play an NFC Championship game with against no quarterback again.
No, don't get
I
me
ain't never
started
seen
on
nothing
that.
like that.
Don't get me started.
That's the easiest pass I've ever seen in my life. No pun intended. He played against a team that didn't have a quarterback left.
And he was on their third straight quarterback too. You're burying the lead. Come on now.
I saw Purdy's UCL ligament hanging off by a thread in the second half.
I can't deal with both of you doing this at the same time. And Jake's the only one I can kick out. So thanks for joining us.
Appreciate you, boys. I'll see you on Sunday. All right.
That's our man Jake Gadon right there, CBS 13. You turn into Farouk every time the Eagles come up. You just start cutting this Nation of Domination promo. You knock it off. Leave them Eagles alone.
I don't know what the hell you talking about. Savio Vega, I don't give a damn about who you are.
Wow, a Savio Vega reference. I guarantee you no other show in this country dropped the Savio Vega reference. I get back to basketball. Just trying to get us refocused here. Jason Jones coming up next hour. I told you Kings Suns tonight. I told you I had a question about Phoenix. Everyone and I get it. You acquire Kevin Durant. I understand what comes with that. Everyone is really high on Phoenix right now. I get it. Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton. You've got pieces there. Monty Williams, former coach of the year. Is this Phoenix Suns team? I think they just signed Terrence Ross also in the buyout market.
Yep.
Is this Suns team more dangerous next season as opposed to this season?
Probably next season. I mean, because they can add different pieces around there. They're going to be
Like
a location where, I mean, I don't know how much this is going to help, but somebody like Blake Griffin last year in Brooklyn, it was going to take the vet minimum to go to Phoenix, and you get to live in Phoenix. People seem to like that a lot. So
especially when you're old.
Yeah.
I mean, no cap. Like
yeah. So they'll be more dangerous next season, I believe.
Are they? So are I'm having a hard time wrapping my brain around like Phoenix in the NBA Finals this year.
Yeah,
I don't see it.
If you tell me Kevin Durant comes back 100% healthy this year,
but that's the thing, though. I think that's where my hang-up is. That I can't see. I can't see that happening.
I'll put it to you like this: if you tell me he comes back and he plays the rest of the year, he could be 80% of what he is. If he comes back and says, "I'm not missing no more games the rest of the year," I think they're absolutely your favorite to get out of the West. Sorry, Denver.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have to exclude the Kings, but
obviously,
other than
you have to exclude the Kings when it comes to
because I can't
Keegan Murray when it comes to breaking the all-time scoring record.
That's just not
because it's no-brainer
fair.
stuff. It's
That's
not
fair.
It's not even fun conversation.
If the Kings decided to bow out of the playoffs, just we're gonna bow out. We want somebody else to win.
We're ahead of schedule. We'll just wait till next year.
Yeah, but I mean, if you tell me Kevin Durant plays the rest of the season,
I think that's and I think I just don't see that happening.
So you think he's gonna get hurt again?
No, I
don't think
I don't think he gets hurt again. No, but I also you're asking a player who played really, really well, and then had to come to a full stop, got traded, and apparently, according to Mark Stein, this was rumored, and I think this was the first time it was reported. Kevin Durant asked to be traded as soon as Kyrie was dealt. And he didn't just ask to be traded. He asked to be traded to Phoenix. And Brooklyn got it done right away.
Next chapter.
Oh, boy. But it just wasn't public. Like, they kept it quiet. They were able to get the deal done. They were able to get a deal that they were obviously very, very happy with. And I think Brooklyn's probably in a pretty strong position to rebuild what they got going on over there.
They got some good things going
I
on.
do it without Sean Marks, but he orchestrated this deal, so I guess you give him points for that. I think as I was thinking about the team tonight, I was thinking about the game tonight, thinking about Phoenix. I just reading these power rankings and Phoenix with the move of the, and I get it. You acquired Kevin Durant, you get that mantle.
Mhm.
But I feel like next year, like if the NBA Finals ended today and we're in the 3:00 hour, like we were doing on Monday. So what's it look like next year?
Mhm.
It's hard for me to not think, Phoenix is repping the West next year. I just don't feel that way right now. I feel like asking Kevin Durant to come back from this injury, not only come back from this injury, get reacclimated on a basketball floor, get acclimated with new teammates, get acclimated with a new coach, get acclimated with a new city, do all of that and do it at a crucial time. Phoenix may very well have the top 6. Nothing else matters. We don't care about home court. We don't care about top 6. Nothing else matters.
Yeah.
And keep it moving. And then you get to the playoffs, and maybe that's the approach they can take with the amount of games that Kevin Durant has played. Because they're the 4 spot. For those who missed that this morning, they're in the 4 spot. Kevin Durant hasn't played a game for them yet.
Yeah.
And they're in the 4 spot, and Devin Booker missed a month and some change. So they're still in a really good spot. I just think it's a lot to ask so quickly.
Who would you still have? And pragmatic, you're 100% correct. That's a bad job by me. I forgot about my boys down in LA, the Clippers.
I wasn't going to bring it up.
Yeah, he said KC off the Clippers bandwagon. No, that's a good point. If both teams are healthy, I think the Clippers still go to the finals. I take that back. I take it back.
Okay.
I forgot about the Clippers. If both teams, if they play each other,
I think the point you're trying to make is the Denver Nuggets are not. I think that was the point. Is the Nuggets are not going to the NBA Finals?
Yeah, I didn't say that about the Nuggets, that they were going to the finals. I like the Nuggets too.
You did
I
say
like
that.
Their team. No, I'm saying like how I just said Phoenix is going to the finals.
Oh yeah,
Clippers.
no.
I didn't say that about the Nuggets. So
there's nothing wrong with that. Like look, the West it's close, right? There's a lot of good teams there. Man, I just did a 10-minute spiel on this, and I'm like, I still feel like it's the Clippers. Obviously, after the Kings, I feel like it's the Clippers. Maybe it is the Suns after that. Like, I don't know who, because I don't think it's Denver either. I mean, if Steven Adams comes back healthy, is that the most dangerous team in the West? Apparently, he's their most important player.
Right. Denver's, and the West isn't like super strong, but Denver is dominating the West.
Man,
they're 2 games behind the best record in basketball.
I might go. This is so foul, and my apologies to everyone involved. I might go Golden State above Denver.
That is not only foul but wrong. Golden State is cooked.
They are not
this
cooked.
year. They're cooked. It's not
so.
happening.
I don't think
They
so.
Once again,
I don't think
they
cooked.
can't play defense,
I
and they can't win on the road.
I understand.
And they're never going to have home court advantage.
I understand.
Ain't happening. They'd be lucky to, at this point, they'd be lucky to get into the playoffs.
Said what I said. I still like Golden State more than Denver. Apologies to Mike Malone and Nikola Jokic and his 2 brothers.
Yeah, Golden State. Right now, Golden State, if they beat Utah, I don't see them beating New Orleans or Minnesota.
They won last night, right?
Yeah. They beat the Wizards.
Yeah, they beat the Wizards.
When it's all said and done, at the end of this first part of the season, we were fretting and all this other stuff. And people, it only takes, what have we heard for the last 2 months? It only takes one bad week.
One bad week.
You can be from 3rd to 11th. The Kings are going to go to the All-Star break as the 3 seed in the West.
And they might be. They might be pretty comfortably if they beat Phoenix, right? By 3 games, 4 games. and New Orleans, who lost 10 in a row, is back at the 7 spot
Mhm.
by half a game.
Yeah.
That's what a quote bad week does.
You know what? We can talk about this a little bit more on the other side.
Oh, thank you.
But remember everybody was going crazy over the Lakers when they made their deals. I said, Lakers, those are good moves, but they ain't doing nothing. Now you got the situation where I don't know what's going on with LeBron James' foot.
So I did some research on that this morning after you put that note in there.
Okay.
And I think I can answer that for you.
Okay.
I think I can answer that for you. And I'll do that next. Plus, it's Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah.
So there's a couple of couples out there that I want to ask you if they should break up.
Wait a minute. Cardi and Offset, leave them alone.
No.
Leave Russell and Sierra alone. Let them cook.
Well, that's not what I meant.
Oh.
I meant more along the lines
I heard
of
Megan Fox and
you're-
she's breaking up with somebody.
you're going down the wrong road. Not at all what I meant.
Okay.
But I'll explain it to you.
Okay.
Do
I
you-
love.
Okay. I'm going to take a break. Y'all could do what you want to. It's ESPN 1320. I'm gonna
No
get some pizza.
13th round today, everybody. I'll do it tomorrow.
You see the NBA app as like a crunch time feature or whatever. Like it's kind of like Red Zone.
Yeah, it's terrible. I watched it one time. It's so bad.
Yeah, I was watching it yesterday. The picture's really bad.
It's
They
bad.
don't know how to do it either.
No, it's bad, and they stick with one game forever. That's not even close. We got like a final possession game going on over here. You stuck with Miami and Denver in the third quarter. Get out of here. It's not that hard. I don't know why people make it that hard. It's not that hard. It could all be so simple, baby, baby, baby. But you'd rather make it hard. Let's see, man. Let's see what the chatty house talking about. Mobley, Ball, Martin twins. It's been an hour since you've been gone, and that's too long, so come back home. I was about to take it there, but I'm not in the studio. Not in the studio.
Can the Lakers still win anything with AD there?
I don't think so. AD looking cooked. He's looking cooked, man.
That's what I'm thinking. He's just not there consistently enough for a team to do something.
AD looking cooked. And I don't say that with glee. I don't have no problem with AD, man. I like him, but it's looking like he's not that guy anymore. KC, would Keegan beat Herder in the 3-point contest? I kind of think he's better suited for it. He might. I mean, Keegan can shoot the rock. KC Benavidez talking crazy, man. He better be careful, is all I'm saying. I don't think Caleb Plant can hurt him, but before I didn't think Caleb Plant had in him what he did to Darrell. He oh my goodness. He put Darrell into the dirt. I didn't think he had that in him. So if that wasn't just like a lucky shot and somehow he has that power, yeah, Benavidez better be ready. But Benavidez, this dude, he takes punches and he just keeps coming forward.
I can't wait for the video after the fight where Plant's telling Benavidez about how much he respects his game and stuff like that.
I'm sad. I got Benavidez winning that fight. I like Caleb Plant, but I got Benavidez. Yeah,
What-
Dr. Dave. I keep saying, don't nobody want to play it. Don't nobody want to face him.
When is that one?
April 15th or something. They still got cake, you said? The chocolate cake? That was some good stuff. Yeah, I think it's April 15th, I think. Benavidez, I don't think nobody in 168 wants to face Benavidez, including Saul. What you think about Saul in his,
Like, what do you mean as far as what?
his match, in his fight?
That's coming up?
Yeah.
He's coming back from injury, so it's fine. Don't fight a scrub the next time, though.
He
I mean, you know how I feel about
He's
him.
gonna try and fight B-Ball again in September.
I don't want to see that.
And he should face the winner of this fight in September. But he won't.
Canelo versus Bivol is like when I watched The Rock get beat up by Goldberg. It was sad. I don't want to see that again.
Canelo's sneaky, getting. He's not old, but he's been in a lot of fights. There's some tread on that tires, some wear and tear on that tire. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely, Malik has that type of capability. The winner is Canelo's mandatory. If it's Benavidez, Canelo will fight Bivol. He'll try to fight Better BF. He ain't fighting Benavidez. He won't do it. It's good for Canelo to go back to Mexico. That should be pretty cool. Isn't it gonna be at like a stadium?
I haven't even seen it. No, I don't know.
And it's in the capital. What's the name of the capital?
Oh, maybe is he fighting at the Azteca?
I don't know. How you say it? Jar.
Jalisco?
Yeah, that's where he's from. Jalisco. Where is that? Like what part of Mexico? Northern, southern?
It's like in the middle, like west, I guess. Like right there on the edge.
Jalisco.
They had heart-shaped pizzas.
Hey, your thoughts on David Benavidez?
They was out there. They was out there serving y'all heart-shaped pizzas.
Oh, they were hearts.
I just looked at the picture from Kimberly on IG. I was like, they out there with heart-shaped pizzas.
Oh, how nice.
That's why it was cut funny. These two were complaining about how it was cut.
Oh,
Yeah, don't do that again. Even if it's a heart, don't do that again. I want my pizzas cut in a triangle.
Why y'all hate love?
Pizza gone, huh?
It's gone. Cake's still over there. If you know, and that chocolate cake that you
chocolate
like.
cake was really good. I don't know where it came from or who it came from.
I can guess, knowing this company, I can guess where it came from, but I don't know for sure. It looked delicious.
Well, thank you to whoever did it. It was very good.
I'm sure you could literally poke your head out there and ask that person. She would know. She's probably the person in charge of the cake. She's literally in charge of the whole office.
This is true. Good call, Kim. I did the same yesterday after our show. I did the same thing he did. I was out there getting some cake, and the radio was on. I took a session.
The hell is
it? Oh, it's us.
I don't know why we're so offended by the sound of our own voices. What the hell are y'all listening to? Kamara really wants to talk to us today, man. He's back with us. 916.
And I want to hear from him.
909-1320. My man, Kamara, what's happening, baby?
What's going on, man?
What's up, big dog?
KP.
Yes, sir.
KP. Two things. You have a daughter, right?
Yes, sir.
Valentine's Day is about to be very expensive for you, my friend. Now you got to.
Yeah, it is. I trust me. I know, and I still got things to do. I still got things to do.
And you got 3 girls?
Oh,
I got. Wait, kid, you got 3 girls? KP?
No, you.
Oh no, I got 2. But I mean, technically my wife and then my grandmother. So
yeah.
I gotta put it down, man.
Money making Mitch. I'm broke, baby.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I'm broke because I had like Beyonce tickets. Damon, you were texting me the other day about that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to Toronto. And then I had to buy my daughter the night before. 2 nights ago, she said, "You promised to take me to Beyonce tickets. You promised to take me to Beyonce." So I ended up buying tickets for my family to go see her in Tampa. So I'm really about to go see.
Man.
Yeah, man.
You hear that? I'm I'm trying to scrap up money to go by myself. Kamara taking the whole tribe with him. Man.
I'm hating it right now, man.
That Kamara money different, boy. We ain't. Hey, Kamara, what fraternity were you?
I was gonna tell you the best fraternity. Alpha Phi Alpha.
What color is that?
Black and gold.
Black
The
and gold.
oldest-
Yeah, black and gold.
The
Are
oldest
they brother and sister with damn, I forgot which one
Alpha
it is.
Kappa Alpha, AKA for pink and green.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Pink and green.
Is it too
They
late
were
for us to
founded-
join?
No, it's actually not. I actually joined in which I don't recommend, but I pledged in law school.
Mm.
Oh, okay, that's bold.
I'm not in school
Yeah,
at
that was-
all anymore.
Pardon?
I said I'm not in school at all anymore.
You don't have to. You know, they have graduate chapters. The best thing about is, you know, so for those who are listening, it's called a Pan-Hellenic fraternities. You have there's generally the black fraternities, and you know, from alphas, AKAs, kappas, omegas, which Jason Jones is part of, and you know, sigmas, SG Rho, Zetas, and Iotas. So it's called the D9, and they are pretty much active. The difference between our fraternities and those, like, you know, other fraternities is that in the graduate chapters, we tend to still have more fraternal bonds, and we tend to do more in the community even after college. I mean, we still have fun and we fraternize, but you know, we extend the bond far greater than just being on the college campus. So you definitely can join, and we have people to join all the time. We have people join in their 50s because they want to be part of the community service and just want to gain more membership in different organizations.
Look, man, can I go to the tailgate at homecoming?
You absolutely can come to the tailgate at homecoming.
No, they actually do. Like a lot of the people that I know that are in fraternities do a lot of cool stuff in the community, man. I envy that. I wish it never really worked out because I just didn't really have time and I didn't have the guidance at the time. But I always wish I would have pledged. I know you say you still can, but I wish I would have got that experience during school.
They didn't have my fraternity on campus, and so when the opportunity came along in law school, I jumped on it. And again, it wasn't the smartest thing for me to do, you know. But you know, I mean, I don't regret. I don't regret, but I also don't recommend. Does that make sense? doing it when I did it, because it was kind of like you know the movie School Days.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It was something like that. I'm not going to get into specifics, you know. But it was, you know. Anyway, listen, I'm excited. Last thing I want to say, guys, you know, I'm excited about this team. And, you know, I was listening to the coach for Sac State. And I do think that was one of the reasons why in 2.5 years, why this team has been a makeover, because, you know, they got rid of, you know, you always say, Casey, like addition by subtraction with Buddy Hield. Like they got rid of people who couldn't, you know, didn't really have a fighting them, and, you know, accepted losing 7 straight games or accepted 5 straight games and didn't think that it was important to like check, you know. And I think Sacramento is the only team in the NBA, you guys can correct me on this, I'll take it off the air, who hasn't lost more than two games in a row. Is that
well, they
correct?
started off losing 4 in a row, but since then, I don't think they've lost 3 in a row.
They did. They lost 3 in a row once, and it was November something.
Oh, the Pacers
leading into
game,
the Pacers.
Yeah, that kept them. That's what Sabonis was saying afterwards. He's like 3 can't turn into 4.
Yeah, and I think that was the last time they've lost 3 in a row. And that was, what was that? November 30th. That was the day of the Pacers game. So it was those days leading into the Pacers game was the last time they had lost that many. So it was the 4-game losing streak to start, that 3-game losing streak in November, and that was it.
Yeah.
We used to talk about multiple 9-game losing streaks.
Right.
And now we're talking about streaks of 4 straight losses.
And Kamara made a great point, though. I mean, look, somebody like Buddy Hield, I don't know if it matters enough to him to not go through that winning streak. And you can't have guys in your program, in your locker room, where it doesn't matter enough. Like Buddy, somebody like him, Marvin, like, all right, man, I know, I want to score, I want to get buckets, all this other stuff, but what do I have to do to stop this losing streak and to win? Do I need to rebound? Do I need to defend? Is it, maybe I get 7 points tonight, but I expend a bunch of energy on the defensive end? Whatever it takes to stop this and get a W. I don't know if they had those type of guys there before. I think they have that type of mentality now.
I think the whole culture was ingrained in that. And part of it is the players too, but I think the players have been, this isn't the right word, but I think you'll know what I mean. They've been empowered to feel like that. They haven't been deterred from feeling like that. And I think the approach to this season, it was clear, this is not that team. We have goals. We have clear goals. And I mean, I remember someone brought it up in the chat the other day, but when James was talking, and I remember when Mike Brown said it, I was not brought here to coach regular season games. I get everybody feels a certain way about that because this team hasn't been to the playoffs, but that's not why I'm here. I'm not here to coach in the regular season. That right there is a clear indication of what this team's goals are. And they bought in from day one. If you can take yourself back to that Portland game and the games following and the Clippers and the Warriors and loss, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, it never felt like there was any external panic from this team. They kept saying, we're right there. We know we're right there. We're doing the things we're supposed to do. We're going to get, this is going to go our way at some point. They were bought in from moment one, even when those 4 losses happened right out the gate.
The 4 losses happened, and I think it was Malik after the second Warriors game. And he's like, this sucks, man. We right there, though. We about to turn.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And he's like, we right there. Like, we about to be good. We about to be good. And they took off.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a great point by Kamara, like that you used to make, the addition by subtraction stuff, in relation to the conversation we were having with Coach Patrick earlier. The addition by subtraction stuff, man, is just been just such a difference maker for this team, for this franchise, and it rightfully so has this fan base as excited as it's been in a couple of decades.
Hey, man, it was just bad vibes, man. And Buddy is playing well in Indiana. He's all right, do whatever you do, but here, it's just bad vibes.
They're also
man.
like 9 games under 500 right now.
They are.
And I'm not, I'm not going to beat them up for that or blame Buddy Hield for that. They could not win basketball games without Tyrese Halliburton. They won 1 out of, I think, the 10 or 11 that he missed.
Right.
And then they had lost 2 before that, so it like piled on to where they were like 1-13 over a stretch of time.
And now he's back, and
they're not much better. You mentioned right before, I feel like we should bring the fraternity conversation back with Jason Jones.
Oh yeah. I'm with it.
You mentioned right before the break something about the Lakers. You don't remember? That's okay, because I do.
Well, I know I mentioned them before, but I was when what
LeBron.
context?
We were talking about the Lakers, and you mentioned LeBron James and how
his foot.
Yeah. You were wondering if LeBron's foot was maybe a little worse than we're being led to believe, given he hasn't played a game since he hit that basket. It's like he hit the basket like he's been done. Dave McMenamin, who's back to reporting now that he's not writing hit pieces on Russell Westbrook anymore, noted that Darvin Ham thinks he's going tomorrow, which I think is weird. But the belief within the Lakers world, OK Lake Show, is that LeBron James is going tomorrow night.
Okay. Now somebody asked earlier,
and my guess is he wants to be a part of the All-Star game.
I was about to say, like somebody asked that earlier, like, can he play? if he didn't play the last game of the.
So my rules between the NBA and the WNBA are getting a little mixed up. I don't know if he can not play tomorrow and play in the game on Sunday, but that could absolutely be wrong. But I do believe, being the top vote getter in the league, being a captain, he wants to be out there on the floor. And I think he also recognizes the optics if he doesn't play Wednesday and plays Sunday as minimal time as that might be. I think he recognizes the optics of that. So if he can go tomorrow, and it sounds like that's the belief, I believe he will.
Okay.
And that's according, again, to Darvin Ham and Dave McMahon.
You know, one of the things I always say, man, with this situation is like one step closer to the season being over.
Yeah.
And everybody like, hey, you know, got all these acquisitions, they're about to turn up and you got to watch out for them.
Yep.
Like, not only is time running out, it's getting to the point where they have to play so good to climb teams, to get back into that 10. Not saying it's impossible, but they have to play on a level we haven't really seen them play on all year.
And given and that I'm glad you phrased it that way. That's an important part, that during the trade deadline stuff, where look how good Phoenix is and the Clippers, look what the Lakers did, and all of these different things. It's like, okay, you need the Kings to be worse than they've been the entire year. You need to play. You need them to play over the course of the next, at the time, I think it was 28 games. You need them to play significantly below their win percentage. Now, you need all of these other teams simultaneously to play way above their win percentage. You needed some teams, in the case of the Los Angeles Lakers, who have a win percentage right now of 448. You needed them somewhere in like 776.
Yeah. Not playing.
What
good.
are we talking about?
Yeah, not playing good. They've got to play great.
Not just good, not just great, way above anything that they've shown they can do this year. They absolutely made some solid adjustments to their roster, but not a plus 35 win percentage adjustments.
Right.
The Lakers are another team who I think are going to be in a better position game one next season, much like I feel about Phoenix. Game one next season, I think those are two good teams. This year with LA, I don't see it.
I don't see it either. And the other thing
Even
about
the
that,
playing is sneaky, getting a little bit further away.
Yeah.
It's not out of reach by any stretch of the imagination.
But they'd even have to get hot for that.
You've got to.
And
that's right.
And here's the thing, when you talk about the Kings and falling out and all this other stuff. Say the Lakers do get hot and play that well. Well, they're playing against other teams that are vying for your spot.
The Pelicans, the Timberwolves.
So they're going to start handing them losses.
I know who they're not playing.
They're not playing the Kings no more. No more. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many moving parts, and I'm not saying it's impossible to happen where the Kings fall out or whatever, but you would need like 4 teams to all play better than the Kings, all play better than they had all year long, and all kind of not play against each other too much. And they'd all have to play other teams than the guys that are right around them.
Kevin Fippen did all of the math. He had the numbers on his Twitter account, and you look at it and you go, I think the Lakers number at the time, this was like 2 or 3 losses ago.
Right.
It's like 21-6.
Yeah. The Mavericks were something like 19-8. They've already lost 2 games.
You need a 26-32 team to do that? Come on, man. But more with LA, it's like, man, that playing, that 10 spot is starting to sneak a little bit further away. Like they're 3.5 back from that now.
Yeah, they have to turn up now.
I don't even know who the Lakers have tomorrow.
New Orleans, I think.
Huh. Okay. Who we root for? The Lakers? Okay, Lake Show.
Yeah, I'd go Lake Show.
Yeah,
because I don't believe the Lakers are going to
That's right. That's what I mean.
There.
That's what I mean. We forgot to do who he root for last night. We mentioned, we talked a lot about, or not a lot, but we talked about the Dallas-Minnesota game last night. Dallas did lose, as everyone is aware of. That was Minnesota getting the dub last night, and that contributed to, we mentioned that Phoenix, who the Sacramento Kings play tonight, has moved into that 4 spot after Dallas has lost a couple in a row now with that loss last night to Minnesota and the one before on Saturday night to Sacramento. But the Kings got 2 right now on Phoenix, which again tells you how big that game tonight in the desert is, and 2.5 on Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, this Kings team is job's not done. They still got a lot of things that they got to do, but they're handling their business as well as anybody in the league. They handle their business. What did we say last week? When they had the Rocky game against the Pelicans and losing Indiana without De'Aaron Fox. I said, well, all right, you got Houston here. You're gonna have to win both of them. They go ahead and do that. All right, well, now you got Dallas.
They made it exciting, but they did it.
They did, right? Now, all right, now you got Dallas coming up. At the very least, you got to split.
Yep.
All right, go ahead and split. Like, they just do what they're supposed to do. Simple as that. They do what they're supposed to do.
See, Donovan had 41 last night. I think Donovan is sneaky having a nasty season.
Oh, for sure.
He's having a real, and I know he doesn't get the buzz that like Jokic and Giannis and those guys get. Donovan Mitchell is having a hell of a season.
I meant to ask Jake because I think we had this talk before. I think we did. He said, yeah, Jokic is the MVP. Again, should be the MVP. It's hard to argue with him. But what I will say is, and I think we talked about this, I think for the belt and all this other stuff, like Giannis is probably having the best season of his career.
I don't know why what Jokic does stands out so much more than Giannis. I don't know why. Like, and I don't know why people are so adamant that, like, it's not like you're wrong if you say, oh yeah, Nikola Jokic is the MVP. But how are you so certain over Giannis? It's like, how? I would just like the logic.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like I said, Giannis is,
and I will repeat this until my death. You punished Giannis for not winning in the playoffs. You voters said that publicly. I'm sorry, what is Nikola Jokic won? Don't get that twisted either. Those aren't my words, and that's not how I believe. The sentiment is stupid. But if you have the sentiment for Giannis, you have to have the same sentiment for Nikola Jokic. You can't go changing the goalpost here. Which it sounds like a lot of these voters are willing to do.
Well, it's funny you bring that up because there's a report in The Athletic. This kind of just sounds a little silly. But it says Mike Vorkunov. I think that's how you say it.
That sounds terribly inappropriate.
Vorkunov. I don't know.
That does not sound appropriate.
He says the NBA and the NBA PA, as part of CBA negotiations, have discussed tying the league's postseason awards to how many games players appear in during a season. Sources tell The Athletic. It's one way the NBA is trying to solve the issue of star player availability. It's kind of weird. Because it feels like
what player?
That's what I'm saying. It feels like if you're in contention for the MVP, you probably played.
Yeah, like what player they didn't give Joel the Rookie of the Year award.
Yeah.
When he played, I think 30-something games.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to officially put that.
And this seems to be
and Joel was so confused, he thought he could win it the next year.
And it seems to
Joel said, I'll just win it next year.
It seems to be MVP and probably all NBA type awards. Now, all NBA that could mess with people's money, and you're like, yo, you're an all NBA type player, but George, you're an all NBA type player, but you're not playing enough. You might need to get out there to get that extra bag.
There's a threshold for stats, like LeBron couldn't be the leading scorer last year, even though I don't think he wound up being anyways, but he couldn't have been. I guess you could just do that.
Yeah.
What's the? I mean, there's an easy built-in number that you already have for league leaders.
Right.
Use that.
Right.
I just can't think of a time. I mean, I clearly there was one for this to be a conversation. I can't think of a time that a player that wasn't playing, like if Kevin Durant won the MVP award this year, I guess I could see the problem in that.
Right.
But I don't think that's ever happened before.
Yeah,
And maybe Kevin Durant on the All NBA third team or second team or something is a problem.
Yeah.
I did mention, and I don't want to forget about this. It is Valentine's Day, but there's probably a couple of couples out there that need to break up. We'll talk about that.
Trying to break up Cardi and Offset.
I have another question for you pertaining to the Kings.
Okay.
I think it's a good one too.
I'm sure
it's not about this year.
Okay.
And
schedule. Okay.
And there's the tease.
The schedule. They're on schedule. Off schedule.
That's right. That's right. It's their rap name. Off schedule. We'll have both of those for you when D'Lo and Casey return. Plus Jason Jones on the way here on Sacramento Sports Leader, ESPN 1320.
I'll be right back.
Kenny gonna come back with a big ass piece of cake. Oh man. Wants the Kings to break up with 50 Cent. Stop it. Stop it, Soren. We got to get the dope ones on the show. I was thinking about that. We got some time coming up with the All-Star break. We got to get some of our people on here. What y'all got going on? Cake and soda? Oh, is that the bet? Cake and soda. Let's see. Yeah, you know what else they're doing that's really good, John? The Sammy Bloodline story has been great, but you know what else they're doing? The fact that they've been able to tie Cody into this and make it work, I think is really, really good also. I think that's really, really good.
I really take issue with the fact that Triple H is never going to go out with a loss.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is something randomly I think about all the time. Like, this guy's just, and that's just so on par for his career.
Yeah, it's the way it should be. It tells the story of his entire career. You know what else I didn't realize? We were talking about Elimination Chamber. You know it's Saturday.
Is this Saturday?
Yeah.
I was going to ask you the other day.
Yeah, it's Saturday. They seriously got another event. Or I assume it's Saturday. It's this weekend. I assume all the events are Saturday now. So they're going to have quite a bit of time to build Cody and Roman. I just don't know what you do with Sammy.
So he's really not coming back.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not. He's definitely not. D'Lo, thoughts on TD if he keeps performing? Does Mike Brown slide him more into the rotation? I think with guys like Terrence, Mike is always going. It's always going to be a feel, and I don't think that's even just Terrence. I think that's the Kings in general. I think Terrence has an opportunity right now. I think he's made the most of it. I think Mike is rewarding him for that. But I also think, if Terrence is struggling, like he'll sit. Like we saw that with Keegan over there on Saturday, right? Where Keegan just couldn't hit anything. So they stuck with Terrence. And then when Domas fouled out, they went with Trey Lyles and went with that group to close out the game. I think TD has gotten his shot here, and he's proved his worth to Mike, and the amount he plays will always vary. Like he's not going to be a 30-minute per game guy, but I think he's going to get more of a shot than we saw like maybe 2 weeks ago, because in the last week's worth of games, he's absolutely made the most of it. I like AEW. I'm way behind on it. Way behind. But I like it.
Did you see last night Bianca had the people going crazy?
Mm-hmm. It's really the only thing I watched last night was Bianca.
I didn't see that part live. I saw the end.
I didn't see
saw
it live either. Yeah.
The main event.
Bianca's a superstar,
She
like
is.
a upper echelon.
And she's like, remember, I think I said this about the New Day. I don't know how you could ever turn her heel.
Mm-hmm.
She means too much to the kids, essentially.
Can y'all hit the thumbs up while you here? We've been cruising past 300. We're really low today. We're at 140. So let's get above 200 and we'll start working towards 400.
Did you see
Let's hit those thumbs up.
Seth at the Astro Boy shoes?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that.
That was pretty.
He's done a hell of a job with that Trip King character.
Yeah. I like him when he wears his street clothes as opposed to the suits. I don't like his suits.
Yeah, I don't either, but
Got a lot of Tyson Fury vibes with them suits.
yeah. Is Blair bigger than Banks? I think so. I think Bianca Sasha, like Bianca needs a little more longevity, but Sasha was pretty big, but I think Bianca is a star like the caliber of like everyone but Roman, like the upper stars.
Hey, two things real quick, because I want to hear your King's question. You got me on the edge of my seat.
Got you.
Did you see what I tagged you in on Twitter about that cheerleader getting into an altercation with the player?
No, I have you blocked.
Oh, there we go.
I don't think you you literally just tagged me.
Yeah,
in
it
this.
wasn't too long ago.
Well, no, I know you put this in the show.
The visual.
Oh no,
pretty
okay, I
funny,
see
man.
her. Yep. Oh no,
Just walks on the court
she kind of did. That it doesn't look like she's supposed to be there.
and runs up on the guy.
Yeah, kind of
Never
did.
seen that before.
Why is she's in a totally different position than everybody else? What is she doing? Oh my God. What is this young lady doing?
Never seen that before.
Oh, and leave these two brothers here to try to explain it. Oh, I gotta put this on the stream. Y'all gotta see this. Y'all have got to see this. I have never
Them
seen
brothers,
anything like this
they just
before.
trying to work on their craft, little who was it, Mississippi Valley State versus Alabama A&M, trying to work on their craft, and they like, I don't even know how to announce this.
I
don't know what to do.
This was not in broadcasting school. They did not teach us how to handle situations
But
like
I saw
this.
that. I said, hold on, I ain't never seen nothing like that. That was crazy.
Yeah, this is new. Y'all have to.
As we explain it for the people on the radio.
Well, I think what we could do here, now that we got it pulled up, is give the play-by-play. So just kind of you follow the circle here. I think we can mute with all due respect to those brothers right there. We don't.
She's on the baseline.
Yeah, like, look, I don't understand why so that's a problem right there.
No other cheerleader was doing that.
She's near like no one, and then this is where it gets bad. They're coming back to that side of the court. Again, she separates herself from the rest of the cheerleaders.
Mm-hmm.
And now
she walks on the court.
And now she just walks onto the court and confronts this guy. This guy's like, oh, hey, wait a minute. What's going on here? And now these brothers, my man's just trying to.
These brothers is like,
yo,
I don't know.
We got a tie game here, and we got cheerleaders on the floor. I don't know what to do with this. The Dan Patrick School of Broadcasting did not teach me how to deal with this. Now you got security involved.
Man.
She really walked up to him like, hey, we got an issue or what's going on? And he's in the middle of a basketball game.
She wasn't having it. Whatever was going on, she wasn't having it. And she's the one that kicked him the time before.
That man's got a hat on that says police, and there's the official. Get her.
Look at the guy looking like the baby with the flat top. Watch, he's laughing.
Can we also point out 2, 5, 6, 7? There are 8 people going to confront a single cheerleader.
Well, look, when you pull moves the way she pulled, she could be capable of anything. I might need some backup too.
The best part is
like
she seems to look confused as to why she's getting thrown out.
And look at the 2 brothers down here. They cracking up. They're like, yo, bro, you see that? She just walked on. Look at her.
Are we
They
gonna-
laughing?
Are we going to talk about this cream sweatsuit? Are we going to talk about? Man, hey, we have got to get these brothers' phone numbers. I got these poor guys. They're just trying to call the basketball game.
Oh man, yeah.
I have never seen that before. That cheerleader went at the dude on the court.
Oh, I saw that. I said, hold on, man. I gotta see if Damien ever seen anything like this, man. That was crazy.
I'll retweet this for the radio audience. This visual is
That was some
spectacular.
crazy stuff. So there's that. And then, did you see the exchange between AJ Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster?
What do you call him? TikTok boy?
Said. So Juju tweets out, for oh boy, that was the DB for the Eagles that held him on that play.
Mhm.
He tweets out a gift or a meme or something that says, you know how they do with the Valentine's Day cards, and they say, I'll hold you when it matters. And it's Brandberry is his name. It's him saying
James
that.
yeah.
Juju tweets that out. It says, Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. AJ Brown responds with, first off, congratulations. Y'all deserve it. This is lame. You was on your way out the league before Mahomes resurrected your career on your one-year deal, TikTok boy. He admitted that he grabbed you, but don't act like you're like that or ever was. But congratulations again. TikTok boy was hilarious.
TikTok boy is funny. Yeah, TikTok.
He was
boy
on
is
your
funny.
way out of the league, TikTok boy.
Did you see what CJ Gardner-Johnson said after that too?
No.
So he was tweeting too. He tweeted, "I got more INTs than Bra had TDs. Maybe I need to change to receiver."
Oh,
Hey man, hey,
Ooh.
look, I don't want to hear from Eagles fans and Eagles players because Niners fans is crying. We crying. All right.
no,
I don't want to hear it
no.
because y'all would say, oh, y'all cried for 2 weeks. Hey man, this is what it is. So don't say nothing, Juju, or not Juju, but AJ and Gardner, and just don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Eagles fans.
AJ might have been trying to stick up for his guy.
I
Might have
agree
been
with
that.
AJ though. That was
AJ might have.
that
been
was,
trying to stick up for
unless-
his guy.
I'll be honest with you, unless they got like real beef, Juju and Bradbury, that wasn't necessary. That wasn't necessary, Juju. I think that's a Long Beach Poly guy. The professor's gonna have to defend him.
Okay. Well, I teased it, so we'll do these real quick. I had mentioned maybe some couples that need to break up on Valentine's Day.
Okay.
I have a couple for you. You tell me, make love work or let it go.
Mhm.
And then I'm going to get to a
Keisha
King's
Cole.
question that I
love Keisha Cole.
got for you.
I always think about what you said when you met her, though. Maybe it was just a bad day.
Maybe it was. Maybe it was. If I showed you the picture of me and Keisha Cole, you might not even know that was Keisha Cole. And we'll get to that King's question because I'm curious to hear everyone's response to that. Couples that need to break up.
Okay.
Yes or no? Packers and Aaron Rodgers. I think I already know
Yes,
the answer to this
absolutely.
one. Okay. I think they get a little bit tougher.
Mutually separate.
What about Ravens and Lamar?
They should work it out.
Ravens and Lamar Jackson
They
need to
should
work it out.
The Ravens should do right by Lamar.
It's probably in everybody's benefit for them to work it out, but I'm beginning to wonder if it's in Lamar's best interest to work it out. I feel like it is, but I'm not as sold as I was 6 months ago when I said that.
So when I say work it out, I say the Ravens give him what he's owed.
Yeah.
He wants a guaranteed contract,
Mhm.
not the franchise tag.
Mhm.
Is there anything outside of that you're like, man, you just shouldn't be around those guys? Like if they're willing to pay him the contract he deserves, is it like
No,
when you
that's
say
it.
that?
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Because
That's it.
some people would say,
Because I don't think they're going to do it.
Mm.
That's the problem. I don't think they're going to do it. I think they're going to put the franchise tag on. I don't care how many times John Harbaugh says it. John Harbaugh said this 2 years ago. We're going to get a deal done.
Yeah.
We're going to. And here we are 2 years. It's not done.
Mm.
And he's an MVP quarterback. There's no excuse for it. They're already talking about Jalen's contract. That was a lower third topic this morning. Should Jalen Hurts get his contract extension this offseason?
Yeah.
You know they ain't gonna give that man a contract extension this offseason.
No. They had the real talk. They had talks about Purdy during like the playoff run. Somebody was like, if I was Purdy, I would hold out. Purdy's making like $900,000. It's crazy.
Well, and unfortunately with the state that Brock Purdy's in, you can ask. Like,
Well,
that's about all you
This
can
was
do.
before, obviously, surgery. When I heard
No,
this
even at
conversation,
that, there's not much you can do except, hey,
I don't even
take care
think
of your
he
boy.
can. I remember hearing about this. I don't even think he can per the CBA.
And it's probably right because wasn't he a rookie?
Yeah. I don't even think he can.
What about the Lions and Jared Goff?
They should stay together. They
'Cause
are,
you had Jared Goff booted maybe 3 weeks into the season last year. Then he got better.
Probably so. He got a lot better. He played really well. I think that's towards the second half of that season. I think they should stay together. I think that fits the mold that we were talking about a couple of weeks ago when I talked about like get your team in order first and get some kind of random stopgap as a quarterback. And then when your team's ready to go draft you one. That's the mode that they're in. And Jared Goff playing really well, he can win you some games. He can get you into the playoffs, maybe win a game in the playoffs. And maybe next year you can draft your franchise quarterback. Maybe this year you draft somebody that you look at for the future. But I think they should stay together.
I need to take a quick peek at something because I'm trying to remember Goff's contract.
It's a big one, ain't it?
2023. No, he's got money. I was looking to see. So the potential out, I think, is now. I think they can get out now. But he only has 2 years left on the deal. So you don't get out, like you're committed to Goff for the next 2 years for $41 million total, which I know people have that feels completely reasonable to me.
Absolutely. Especially considering how he played at the end of the season. And we've seen Jared Goff.
Might be closer to 51. I might have been looking at the wrong number. It might be 51 million for the next 2 years.
Okay. Well, still,
it's a little different, but
a little bit. 25. I think Jimmy was making 25 or so.
Yeah, 25.9 and 26.6.
So we've seen Jared Goff in good situations play really good football. And it seems like Detroit is a good situation. There's going to be a lot of pressure on them to win relatively big next year. And what I mean by that is like,
I don't think they're
I'm not talking Super Bowl, but like they should get to the playoffs. And they shouldn't be like last week of the season, we got to win to get in.
I got you.
I think there's going to be a lot of people, especially if Aaron Rodgers is gone, that picks the Lions to win that division.
Chatty House getting in on the act. About an NBA offseason breakup with the Warriors and Clay/Draymond. Oh,
Draymond should happen. Clay, Lacob ain't gonna do it for both of them, so it's gonna be one of them, and it'll be Draymond. Niners and Trey Lance make up or break up. They make up, I guess you say.
Yeah, they can't. Well, they can't. Well, they can't do nothing with them now.
They're a good relationship. Hey, no relationship is perfect.
No, none of them are.
What about the Lakers and Anthony Davis?
Oh, that's a good one.
Did they hear you, Jesse? No? Okay, yeah. Lakers
and Anthony Davis.
If I were the Lakers, I'd move on. I'd see what was out there. I'd shop him. If I don't get it something that I want, then he can come back. I know that's going to get out and all that other stuff, but I try to shop him. Remember, I said I would try to shop him last year.
Man, now it might be too late.
No, I did say the Kings should get in on that, but
he'd be a good backup to Domas.
He would be a good. Actually, I think I said that before.
Anthony Davis is a good player. Yes, I
might have said it after because I thought he'd compliment him because he could shoot.
I think we talked about it in the offseason.
Yeah, he could shoot.
I believe we were screamed at for 4 days about it.
Soren, I agree. Brett Favre and Freedom, they absolutely should break up.
That's a relationship that needs to end.
Yeah.
That's absolutely a relationship that needs to end. It's toxic. It's toxic for Freedom. Brett Favre should be serving time in jail. Last one, and everyone is welcome to weigh in on this.
Okay.
Football and Tua Tagovailoa.
Give him one last shot. One last shot.
Last shot, huh? You want to?
One last shot. I really want to say break up, but I'd give him one last shot.
Jesse had an idea in the text thread. I'm just gonna have to leave that one out there. You're listening to D'Lo and KC on KIFM West Sacramento 98.5 FM KRX QHC2 Sacramento ESPN 1320. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Sammy and the Bloodline, man.
Ooh, I think it's time to break up. Well, they already did, but
there's a lot of good stuff out there.
now if WWE was really in their bag, it would all have been a work, and he turns on he helps Roman beat Cody and comes back into the Bloodline
and just keeps the story going.
Yeah,
it's a long story.
It is. I think this whole Rock thing, they don't know what they're doing.
Well, it's not happening.
Yeah,
that's
what I'm saying. Now that's not.
Yeah,
there,
I don't think they know how this is going to end.
I think they were prepared for Roman, maybe not to lose it to The Rock, but to lose it around WrestleMania, maybe the night after or whatever. Now, it might go another year.
It might be Cody. It might be Cody.
Yeah, I don't know. It might be. You're right. It might be, but yeah.
Cody, like there's a chess move here too. Cody winning that title, beating Roman Reigns, ending a nearly 3-year story.
Wow.
Sends a message to the AEW locker room. Hey, this isn't the old Vince McMahon thing where Dusty Rhodes comes in and we put him in polka dots. This isn't the old thing where we bring WCW guys in and give Booker T an accent. Or have The Rock look at Booker T and go, meat. Yeah, it's a message to that locker room. Go ahead. Come on over. We got you. MJF? Ricky Starks? Come on over, man. We got you. Look at what we just did with your executive vice president.
He probably should come over to WWE.
I'd be okay with that. Yeah. I'd be okay with that.
They really did let all those guys come from WCW and just lose
everything. Over and over and over again.
Vince said, none of you guys are going to win.
Vince put the belt on Rey Mysterio and beat him for like 2 months before finally having him lose the belt. Like Rey Mysterio is the most forgotten champion in history. I have another question for you. It doesn't pertain to wrestling. It actually pertains to the Sacramento Kings, and it doesn't necessarily pertain to this season. Because we were talking about, we mentioned this with the Lakers, right? Mm-hmm. And mentioned this with Phoenix, how I think Phoenix is set up to be more dangerous next year. Mm-hmm. Like I'm far more intrigued as to what Phoenix does next season than I am necessarily this year. Mm-hmm. The same to a certain degree is true for Los Angeles. I believe they added some good young pieces that it feels like they're so far behind right now, both injury wise and, both health wise and just record wise, they're not going to be able to keep up with. So start thinking, okay, maybe the Lakers are in a good spot next year, or certainly a better spot than they're in right now. Mm-hmm. We're all enjoying the ride that the Kings are on. And we've got some more miles left on this. But have we started to think about what the next home run swing is for the Sacramento Kings yet? Mm-hmm. Because we could talk about the Mason Plumlees, and we could talk about acquiring the Josh Richardsons in free agency, or all of these other little guys. Come to all of these nice little additions. But does Monty need to make it? And there's obviously a huge Harrison Barnes question coming up this offseason. Does Monty need to start thinking about the next home run swing? Assuming, of course, that he's not.
He absolutely should be. And really where that is going to come from it really can only come from two places. That's the Harrison Barnes spot or the Kevin Huerter spot. And the first thought would be it comes from the Harrison Barnes spot. Because Kevin, I think Kevin Huerter is good enough as a starting 2 guard, especially if you upgrade the starting 3 spot. And also, I think there's outside of Bradley Beal, it feels like it'd be easier to like get a 3, maybe. You're talking about Paul George. You're talking about a lot of people talking.
If the Clippers fall on their face, do you think that's a possibility?
Absolutely. I've heard that if it doesn't happen, they're going to look to break this thing up.
Like Larry O'Brien happen? Or
I think at least get to the finals.
Okay.
I don't know if getting to the conference finals is good enough.
Okay.
So they may be looking for that type of move. So I think that's where the 2 spots. Do you agree? Like, is that the 2 spots? Like, I can't see them. Well, they could look for a 4 and you move Keegan to 3. That still requires you to move on from Harrison, potentially.
I like, but you're probably not moving on from Harrison. I think at this point, you're either re-signing him, the Sacramento Kings, you're either re-signing him or you're losing him. I don't think there's a Dante DiVincenzo situation here where they let Harrison Barnes go. Like, I believe part of their strategy through this trade deadline was we want Harrison Barnes here moving forward.
I think so too.
And we have discussed regularly. I don't know how you upgrade that position, where that upgrade is. Tommy D says, I don't even hate this remark. Keegan's improvement might be the next home run swing.
Mm-hmm.
That might be where the next, because the home run swing is the Domantas Sabonis acquisition, right?
Mm-hmm.
The kind of the game-changing move right there. That may very well be Keegan's development.
It very, very, very well could be. I just think about, and we compared this a number of different times. Think about Cleveland, and they were really good. They did some good things last year. They ran out of gas. Well, they got hurt a lot last year too, towards the end, which helped them run out of gas. And then they went and made that move. Now, the thing that made it easier for them is they didn't have to displace anybody that was already there. It was like Cedi Osman, or they just took Karis LeVert and moved him to the bench or something like that. I don't think Karis LeVert or Cedi Osman means to the Cavs what Harrison or Huerter mean to the Kings.
Mm-hmm.
So it was easy. It was like, well, we essentially have an open hole. Let's go get Donovan and fill that void. And those other 2 just slide back to the bench. In this particular case, like you just said, if you try to get an upgrade for Harrison Barnes, that means Harrison's probably gone. He's not still on the team and sliding to the bench like Karis LeVert or Cedi Osman. He's probably moved on. And you have to make sure that who you get is a bigger deal or better than Harrison Barnes. And I think this offseason is the time to look, though. It's time to fish around, see who potentially is out there. Like I said, Paul George, I don't know what that would cost you, but Paul George is somebody that
you
would be
really love Paul George.
I do. His injury stuff concerns me.
You're like Kenya Barris. I'm gonna get you a Paul George jersey.
I'm okay with that. Like Paul George, PG. But his injury stuff is what concerns me the most. Not his game or what he could be. It's just how healthy can he stay throughout a year. So,
how old is Paul George now? Do you know off the top of your head?
It's got to be, I would guess 31. That would be my guess.
Isn't that funny? Wouldn't that make him older than Harrison Barnes, or maybe the same age?
Yeah.
He'll be 33 in May.
33. Ooh-wee.
May 2nd. I'm almost certain that's The Rock's birthday. I'm almost certain The Rock and Paul George share a birthday. Yeah, my useless knowledge is really paying off. You know how I remember it? This Is Your Life. Remember when they sang Happy Birthday?
Was that his actual birthday?
No, they're singing. The crowd is
him
singing
that he
Happy
sang.
Birthday. And he says, to the people, naturally, The Rock is grateful. But to you, The Rock's birthday is May 2nd, you stupid son of a bitch. Can we also point out that segment's terrible?
It's awful.
It is just dreadfully bad.
Aren't a lot of good segments from that Rock era. It just isn't.
That segment is so bad, and it's remembered like so fondly. And go watch it at 4:00. It's not good. It is so painfully long.
It's super long.
The names that Mick Foley is calling out don't even match the names on the screen.
No.
It's just bad.
It's like 10 minutes too long.
At minimum, it's 10 minutes too long. It might be like 15 minutes too long. We'll come back. Jason Jones is going to join us.
Well, ask him that question
I don't know if the home run. I don't. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll ask him. We'll ask him. We'll get his thoughts on a variety of things, including this first part of the season, which wraps up tonight in Phoenix. So that's all coming up here. We'll go commercial free to the top of the 4:00 hour on Sacramento Sports Leader, ESPN 1320. The Rock's birthday is May 2nd, you stupid son of a bitch.
Anybody know who Yellow Card is?
Mm-mm.
They're going on tour.
You know yellow card? Yellow card.
Oh. Speaking. All right. The happy hour doing an XFL preview on his podcast.
Nice. Okay.
Peep that. Vince was pissed at how long the segment. I heard. If you remember how it ends, Triple H comes and runs out and like is swinging a sledgehammer everywhere. I think the story is Vince said, "Go out there and end this shit." And so he went out there swinging the sledgehammer to get everybody out of the ring. And I think he got all tangled up in the balloons.
Is there an athlete out there that maybe didn't turn out the way you thought, but it's like, oh, if this guy's playing, I'm definitely watching? Because I see Josh Gordon's going to be in the XFL. I was like, I'll watch Josh Gordon any day.
Josh Gordon's in the XFL?
I'm pretty sure. That or the USFL, one of those leagues.
Yeah, I'll watch Josh Gordon.
Oddly enough, I'm not like a big fan of his or whatever. Like, not crazy about him, but if Money Manziel was in the XFL, I'd see what he looked like.
Yeah, I see that.
The best thing that the NFL football had going
championship
for him
against Baker Mayfield next year.
Yeah, right.
As uncalled for. I like Baker.
It was
Mayfield.
true though.
Sorry.
It was true. Is one summer the NFL had something with this 7 like flag football, and they never went back to it. And it was like flag football. It's like we could be on a team, and we got to just like enter a recognized league here locally. We win this, then we play the NorCal championship, then we play the California championship, then the Western Region championship, and like the championships were on NFL Network, and it got some buzz, it got a good look or whatever, and they never went back to it. I think that would probably do more than contact football.
Feels like it'd be a different game.
A little bit.
Like
a little bit. It's just a different look,
Click, clack.
The inaugural 2023 USA Women's Nike Hoop Summit team includes a lot of people, but I recognize Juju Watkins and Jada Williams. Juju, if I have this correctly, she's like the Mikey Williams of girls basketball. She's been famous for a long time.
She's USC.
Oh no, you're right. Juju is USC. I'm thinking of Jada. I think Jada's the girl I'm thinking about.
Oh,
who has been famous since she was like a freshman.
Bless you. Good Lord. Man. Yeah. Was that you? That wasn't you. Was that you?
How did you hear that sneeze? The mic wasn't even on.
I don't know. I heard it though. It's like, how can Kimberly not hear me? Like I could yell for Squints right now. He won't hear anything, but I just heard somebody sneeze.
When you yell, I can't even really hear you either.
It's wild.
It's crazy.
Squints, can you hear me?
Hey, yo, Squint.
Or nothing.
It's wild. But you can hear every single person in their friggin' click clacks walk by. Or someone sneeze, apparently.
One day that door's somehow gonna lock, and you guys are never gonna get out because no one's gonna hear you guys trying to get out.
That's probably accurate.
You'll miss another party.
Well, by design.
Valentine's Day party's just over. Just had it at 12 and just, this is great, guys.
There's some cookies, cake, and pizza. Get lost.
No, the best part is really they didn't start getting pizza till we literally went live.
Yeah, it was 12
So we got
o'clock.
till 12:07.
Oh, 12:07, right. If it had been here at 12, we could have gotten pizza. We decided we're getting docked 7 minutes of pay today. I just can't get over. Okay. Woosah. Woosah.
Hey, what the heck? Champions League was on today. I'm so off with soccer. I tried, guys. I tried. I'll try again next year. Have you heard any whispers? Well, Damien might hear a little bit more than me, but have you heard any whispers about Sacramento bringing the Monarchs back? Haven't heard a thing.
No. Unfortunately, no.
But like you said, though, that those talks for the league in general is kind of stalled out.
Live on the Odyssey app, live on twitch.tv/ESPN1320, youtube.com/ESPN1320 as well. If you are watching on the show, hit the thumbs up. We'd greatly appreciate it. I should say, if you're watching the show on YouTube, hit the thumbs up. If you're watching on Twitch, hit the follow button, hit the like button on Facebook. Wherever you are, we appreciate you so much for being with us. Jason Jones going to join us coming up here in just a couple of minutes for a de facto live edition of J Street Vibes as the Sacramento Kings close out the first part of their season. By the way, footnote, tonight's game's at 6. I assume that's an Arizona thing.
Yeah, we always ask this. Are they on daylight?
I don't know.
Like
it just caught my attention that tonight's game is at 6 and not 7, whereas I feel like it used to be at 7. So I don't know. I thought there were laws. I don't know. I don't know if they have daylight savings time or not.
After this next one.
Okay.
I think once this happens, when we spring forward.
Okay.
I don't think it'll change again.
Okay.
That's my guess. Could be wrong though.
Okay.
Ramsey would know.
Ramsey would absolutely. He's driving past the time change right now. As we speak, Ramsey's driving past the time change.
And where's Big Al with my donuts? Now that I think about it, where's my Marie's donuts? Big Al, where you at, man? Where my donuts, man?
So it's the Sacramento Kings and the Phoenix Suns. So just keep that in mind. Tonight's game is at 6.
That's good to know. I didn't recognize that until you just said something.
Who we root for? We got Wizards over the Blazers tonight. That's what we're rooting for there.
Good luck, Bradley Beal. Do your thing, big dog.
Kyle Kuzma.
Porzingis. I like you, Porzingis.
Warriors or the Clippers? I think I know where we're going with this. Okay, clip show?
I don't think the Warriors are going to do much of anything. So get the Clippers further away from us. I think I'm going to go Warriors on that. We'll go Dubs.
The Clippers are 2.5 back. Warriors are 3.5 back.
I'm going to go Dubs.
You going Dubs?
Going Dubs.
Our Dubs tonight.
Our Dubs.
Okay, I'm with that. That could cause a lot of shit. That could throw the Pelicans or the Timberwolves into the top 6 after that. Like there's if that happens, there's some movement.
Yeah.
So we welcome in the professor, and your co-host over at the J Street Vibes podcast, our man Jason Jones. Jason, what's happening?
Not much. Just adjusting to no football and got to find some new ways to troll Kenny now. But
I'm sure you'll find ways. We've been talking about this all day. Do you think your fraternity would take us?
Like today, like now.
Like at this, like right now at this very moment.
Yeah. You guys do like post grad applications.
I got to see your resume, your community service, all that stuff.
Okay,
take it into consideration.
All right, we'll send it to you. We're checking out different fraternities. I think we decided we're going to join one. And this all started because I said it was Greek night Thursday night at the Sac State game, and then now we've just decided we're going to join a fraternity.
And that my ears perked up. I was like, Greek night.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. We talking about the kind of Greek night that I was thinking of. And he's like, yeah, and I was like,
Coach Patrick wouldn't allow any other type of Greek night.
Yeah, not Jimmy the Greek, not Jimmy the Greek night. Of course.
not that one. Not that one.
No.
Chris Berman's at that party right now.
Chris Berman, here at Sac State, it's Greek night. Ironically, I had Jimmy the Greek on my show.
That was an all-time liner right there. That was an all-timer right there. I've got the Tubi commercial followed by Abe Lincoln's birthday.
Yeah, those were 1-2 for the Super Bowl for sure.
Yeah, my kids got yelled at for a second. My kids got yelled at. Like, what are you doing? We don't have the remote. I'm like, okay.
A lot of y'all got worked by that. I'm surprised.
Yeah, I
mean, y'all got worked. That's all right.
It was clever. It was clever.
It was great. Yeah, absolutely. It was a great job. Jason, the Kings close out the first part of their season against Phoenix tonight. I actually want to ask you a Suns question first. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Phoenix made the big splash getting Kevin Durant.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Phoenix is more dangerous next year than they are this year. Do you think they can put it together in the next 20 some odd games headed into the playoffs and potentially make a run back to the NBA Finals?
That's going to be tough just because two of those key guys, really, you look at that, their top four guys, really the only guy who's played most of the year is Ayton.
Yeah.
KD's missed, he's missed. KD's so smart. I think you can just plug him in anyway. He'll figure it out. Then you got Book, and then, Chris Paul's been in and out. They have the potential if they get hot, to make some noise. But I think there's probably something to the fact that just trying to throw all that together in 20 games is going to be tough. But I wouldn't want to play them in the playoffs just because if they figure it out, I wouldn't want to see those guys at all.
Yeah, I look at that roster and they gave up a lot to get them, but man, they still got DeAndre Ayton, who's going to be a fourth option. Well, the way Chris is playing, he might be the third option. But either one of those guys, Chris or Ayton, as your fourth option, man, that's a good look. That's a good look, man. And I understand what Damian's talking about as far as there is going to be a period of time where they've got to gel and figure some things out. But I understand what you're saying, too. I think Kevin Durant is one of those players. There's not a lot of them. Maybe less than a handful of just him being on the team is figuring it out. Like he'll adjust to whatever's going on and get his 25. I bet you his first game he get 25.
Oh yeah, 25. He's like that E40 line. Put him in any hood, he'll fit in. Just drop him off, he'll be all right.
Yeah,
he's one of the best in the game. There's no doubt about that. I don't know. I just saw this as a move. Like, all right, I get why everyone's excited. I feel like some people may be going a little bit over the top with it, but next year I don't know. As it stands right now, how I'd see anyone other than Phoenix as a favorite in the Western Conference. Besides Sacramento, obviously, how I'd see anyone but Phoenix is the.
Yeah, I think in the offseason they'll fortify the bench, and there'll be a problem next year for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Kings wise, they're getting ready to head into kind of uncharted land. We're not waiting for. We're not doing lottery scouts. We're just watching. We're watching NBA standings and hoping this team continues to win ball games. Are you I know you're a believer in the way that this team is played. Can Can they get to the playoffs? Can they get to the top 6? Can they win a playoff series? Could they knock off someone like a team everyone is really, really high on after the last couple of nights? Could they knock off a team like Dallas in the playoffs?
I still have a trouble picking them to beat someone in the playoffs because I just can't stand the way they play defense. I just think no matter who they play, someone's going to give them a problem. And you know, if you got to see Luka 5-6 times or Luka and Kyrie 5 or 6 times, I'm not going to bet against Luka in a series like that. But I think they're a playoff team. But I just
know, Jason, what if they play Dallas? The team that play less defense than them.
Then in that case, I go with the team with the best player, and I go with Luka. I always figure in a series, usually the team with the best player wins when things are pretty equal. I mean, and Luka's pretty good. I mean,
Luka for sure the best player on that team. I
still think so. He's going to have the ball more too. You know, I think he's the best player. I think he can. You know, it's not like either he or Kyrie are going to like lock anybody down defensively. So you throw that part out. I still think Luka's, you know, top 5 in the world. So I mean, I think he's one of the best, one of the best going right now. So it'd be hard for me to go against him, but the way the West is, I could make a case for almost any team can win a series.
You know what's interesting about that what you're just talking about, and what you're saying makes perfect sense. But let's just say a hypothetical Mavs Kings series, which I would love. Like I think that would be must see TV. That'd be some great stuff. But you go with the fact that Luka, we'll just give him the best player in the series. Kings probably got 2 and 3 though. They probably got 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7.
I don't know if they got 2.
I mean,
Kyrie's not the best, second best.
He might. Fox. Did you see what Fox did on Saturday?
I understand.
You see what he did on Friday to them?
I know that.
I'm saying, as a career, obviously Kyrie is better. Right now, is Kyrie playing better than Fox right now?
Man, I don't know, dude.
Well, he just got the down. He
looked good.
He was pretty damn good before that trade.
Man.
He was doing some pretty. He was damn good in Brooklyn before the trade. So I mean,
I think
if Kyrie wants to, be engaged or not. Honestly, if Kyrie's locked in,
and I think he is, by the way, for now. I think he is for now.
What time is it? Yeah, he's doing good. Yeah,
right. I think it's Luka, Kyrie, and then I think I kind of get your point though. In my opinion, is Luka, Kyrie. Then it's Fox, Sabonis, and then it just might be a bunch of Kings after that. But Kyrie is still like, because Jay just said Luka's top 5 player in the world. Kyrie might be a top 12 at worst.
You know that's my guy on the court, Kyrie Irving. Like, that's my guy. I'm just saying, we saw 2 straight games. Fox put 33 and 36 on his head, and was locking him up on Friday. Like right now, I think there's an argument that De'Aaron Fox is playing just as good, if not better, than Kyrie Irving. Nobody could do anything with De'Aaron Fox. Nobody could do nothing with him on Friday and Saturday.
Well, Kyrie's never going to do anything with him. Like, I think that's part of the thing. That's not Kyrie.
And Fox had Kyrie had been in a bit of a torture chamber.
Could he have done the same thing, though, if Luka was there? Well, I guess he did on Saturday. Yeah, he did it on Saturday.
Kyrie was still. It wasn't like Kyrie on Saturday had like 9 points now.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I'm with Damon. I just think they would have the 2 best players, and that's not like the Sabonis and Fox. I'm just saying in terms of the pecking order. Someone's got to be 3 and 4, and then like I said after that, I mean, do you take Harrison Barnes or do you take I don't know over Christian Wood? I don't know.
Yeah, and that's probably where the conversation ends. Like, there's a bunch of Kings named after you get past Luka and Kyrie. Wherever you put them, once you get past them, there's a lot of Kings.
And look here,
named.
and like I said, I understand everything both of you guys are saying. We just DeMontis, he had 22 and 14 on Saturday. He didn't really play that good. He had 22 and 14.
I don't think anyone said he didn't play good.
No, I'm just saying, it's a complete afterthought.
Oh, yeah,
that he
absolutely.
had 22 and 14.
Automatic double-double.
That's whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
14.
And I think we
I
made
started reading Twitter again, and I was like, hold up, I didn't say he had a bad game.
Nah, I muted
we
those
made
guys.
we made more of a story. We made more of a story out of what Trey Lyles did after Domas fouled out. To step in instead of Domas's 22 and 14. We made so much of Trey Lyles when he stepped in at the 5 for like 4 minutes.
Domas, the new Harrison Barnes.
No respect.
Mm-hmm.
No respect whatsoever.
I
Trey
love
Lyles, the new Rasheed Wallace out there. He get in the game. It's game over. He over there telling the ref, "Hey, put another foul on Sabonis." Hey, I saw that. He's like, "Hey, ref, check." He's using the hand a little too much. He's trying to get Sabonis out of there.
I'd love to see that series. That'd be a great series. That game on Saturday was so good. I was saying that at the beginning of the fourth quarter, let alone like it wasn't about who won or didn't win. It was just that was a great game on Saturday night.
Yeah, a lot of points scored in that series.
Mm-hmm.
Jay, we haven't talked to you. By the way, we didn't mention this. We got really derailed when the show started, and we never really went back to it. Not a surprise, I think, to anybody. Malik's out tonight. He's already officially been ruled out. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone on earth, but it is news that we didn't pass along. So forgive us. Malik Monk is officially ruled out and has been officially ruled out tonight. Jay, this is our first chance to talk to you since the trade deadline. Lots of different opinions on Monty McNair's approach to last Thursday's deadline. What was your thoughts when the Sacramento Kings, outside of a acquisition of Kessler Edwards, didn't do anything?
I question not so much them not making a move. I just wonder what was really out there for them that wouldn't have been so disruptive to the core of the team. Mm-hmm. I'm all in favor of making a move if it's going to benefit you. But the thing I wouldn't have liked for them was to say, okay, oh man, those teams made a move. We got to do something. And then you just do something to do something.
Right.
And now you're trying to figure out, like, why in the world would you do that? Like, why would you trade that guy? Why would you trade Terrence Davis for like 3 second round? Something just random. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, they definitely could have used a guy like a Jay Crowder, just, some more 3-and-D, especially the defense part of that 3-and-D. But if the move wasn't there, the move wasn't there. I think we've seen in the past with Monty McNair that if there's a move to be made, he'll make it. Mm-hmm. So I just kind of assumed that there must not have been a whole lot out there that they liked. And, if the move doesn't make you significantly better, I think you roll what you got. I mean, at that point, they're still third in the conference. However you want to talk about, I've talked about it, the circumstances other teams haven't, whatever the case may be. It's not like they're in a spot of desperation.
Right.
I mean, if you make a move, to me, you got to make a move to make yourself a title contender. Yeah. If you're them, based on where they are. And me and Kenny joked about it. If you can get Kevin Durant, but and I don't think Kevin Durant had the Kings on his list. So,
and
I think he had one team on his list.
One team and one team. Me and Damien talked about it yesterday, though. We look at that game on Saturday that we talked about, and all these guys that people wanted at the deadline, the Mason Plumlees, the Josh Richardsons, all that. Are any of them playing in the final 6 minutes in overtime of that game? I don't think so.
No.
Yeah. So
that's why I said it has to be a guy who's going to be an impact. I mean, they could make moves around the fringe of the roster, which would be fine, but you don't give up significant I mean, you're giving up a couple of second round picks and a guy you don't play for a guy like that. You're not giving up something significant. If I'm the GM, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I agree.
Zion suffered another setback. Also, obviously that plays a big factor in the Kings. Obviously, the Kings business, go out there, win games, keep it moving, but they got to look at the teams around them. And everyone said all year, watch out for the Pelicans when they get healthy. And it doesn't appear that day is coming. They had to play a big chunk of the season with Zion Williamson and without Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram looked great last night, but they're going to be functioning now without Zion Williamson. Is that a team that you think can continue to fight for a playoff spot with just one of their 2 stars?
I think they can maybe stay in the top 10, but the thing is, their 2 best players are hurt a lot. You know, I
That's
know.
Brandon Ingram is still hurt. He's just playing through it. Like
100%,
he's just playing through the hurt.
I mean, they're two best. I mean, what's the most games Zion's played in what 3-4 years?
Oh, we did that yesterday, and it was bad.
50 or 60. I mean,
He played 62. I think he played 61 in a 72 or 62 in a 72 game season. That was the most that he played. But he didn't play the next year. The year before, like the games were in the teens, like the numbers are, and then this year I think it's 29.
I mean, it's just crazy because, like I said, their two best players have trouble staying on the court. I mean, that's been the knock on Brandon his whole career. You know, he's a guy who, for whatever reason, you know, I'm like, what's in the water in New Orleans? I don't know. Because it feels like every time Zion gets hurt, he has a setback in rehab.
Yep.
It feels like he can never just like miss some time and get back. There's always a setback. I mean, last year was a whole season of setbacks for him. And the thing is, there's no way you can duplicate what he gives you. Either he or Brandon. You can't just go out and trade for a guy and say, you know what, he'll do what Zion does for us and we'll be okay. So I think, I mean, I know CJ McCollum's a good player, but he's going to need some help. Or that whole talk before the year about would the Lakers be giving them like a top 5 pick? They both could be in the lottery together. So maybe that pick swap could be 9 and 10. Who knows?
Yeah.
Not to be funny, Zion's like, it's like Marvin.
Yeah.
Marvin's out 4 to 6 weeks, and then all of a sudden 4 to 6 weeks becomes 8 to 12.
Right. Yeah.
Like every time. Go ahead, get it out, baby. It's all right. We got you. I saw it coming and still didn't even know how to cover it. Like I'm just sitting there watching my partner sneeze and couldn't come up with a way to cover it.
It's coming.
And I'm looking at Zion too, you know. Remember, he got hurt at Duke. So I mean, this is I just, I hope eventually we can get a few 70 game seasons out of him. Like, just back to back. It's you feel bad for him just because no one gets injured on purpose.
Right.
But it's like, man, every time he's injured, he's working his way back. Boom, he re-aggravated something, or hey, that bone didn't heal. I don't want to say I've never seen it, but for a guy at this level, it's tough. I can't recall a guy at this high of a level of player where this happened so much.
What would you do if you were the Pelicans? Would you still write this thing out, or would you start having internal discussions about possibly moving him?
You got to keep him. I mean, because you see what he can do when he's healthy. I mean, and plus right now, teams would try to buy low in a deal with him. They'd be like, well, we like him and all, but he's been hurt a lot. Yeah. I think you got to ride this thing out. You've already committed the contract to him. You committed to Brandon. You got CJ down there. You just hope you get that thing together health-wise and see what you can do with it.
Right.
Can we throw Jason some love too? Because I don't feel like we do this enough. Obviously, we mentioned the J Street Vibes podcast all of the time, but the culture work over on The Athletic, stuff you wrote on Mohamed Abdul-Rauf recently was really good. I'm very anxious to watch that documentary. He's one of the more, he is such a fascinating sports figure, especially in the culture, that I don't feel like gets the level of attention that's probably warranted.
Yeah, and the stuff that didn't get into the story was just as good. I mean, I first met Mahmoud, I think, in 2018. I was speaking at UCLA, and he was speaking at the same time. And I was talking to a class about the national anthem, kind of the history of it, how the anthem is inherently injecting politics in the sports. Because 28 people are still talking about Kaepernick a lot, and and I always say, hey, we don't play the anthem before we watch a movie. So talking to the class about that. And then, of course, I wasn't the important figure that Dave Mahmoud was. So that's when I first met him. We actually rode the same Uber back to LAX. So we just kind of got to know each other, and we've talked off and on over the last few years. So, yeah, he's very, he says it in the film, even in the story. He's still a guy in a lot of ways trying to figure things out. He's not a perfect figure by any stretch. There's still a lot, he's trying to figure out with his life and whatnot. But the things he talked about in terms of athletes with their mental health, and talked about he had a lot of good things to say about the Big Three with Cube and what that's meant to him, and the fact that there was a generation of kids who had no idea who he was for the Big Three.
Mhm.
You know, and then he's really a fascinating. I don't say character in a crazy way, but just his story is just. And when you get into the documentary too, his life story is just like wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of like how did you even get to that point? When you see kids, nowadays they get these high school, they have trainers and specialization and a fast twitch coach and all this stuff in high school. Man, I mean, it's not even hyperbole. He barely had food in high school, and he was an All-American.
It's amazing. If you watched Fox 60 minutes before that ball was kicked off on Sunday, I don't know how you could ever have the conversation about politics being injected into sports. The whole 60 minutes leading to the kickoff was political propaganda with like these, like Captain, God bless Anthony Mackie, but Captain America reading this big, like when the hell did this start happening? When did we start doing this? And I know when we started doing it. Right around 2016 is when it all adds up that we have to put 10-minute videos with Captain America reading about how great America is leading into a football game.
Well, it blew my mind when I found out that whole Salute to Service month is paid for.
Oh yeah,
it's paid for.
Oh,
like
yeah.
they're not saluting anything. They got paid for advertisements. Basically.
Or the whole my family member got home and I didn't know they were going to be here. Folks didn't realize that was all like staged.
Work.
No, people didn't know that. Yeah, it's always and part of my thing is I took classes with Harry Edwards in college. So even back in the late 90s, I was already on some different stuff when it came to that with sports. I was just like, I know.
Edwards would do that to you.
I'm like, yeah, I know. Like, this is all a setup. I know. I get it. But yeah, he's interesting too, just because as you look at some of the things he dealt with, I mean, even the way the media was even allowed to talk to you in the 90s was insane. Like, there was media in Denver who like thought it was a prank to run up in a mosque. Like, and that was okay. Like, oh, we're going to have a prank. We're going to run into a mosque and say some stuff.
Jeez.
And even some other stuff I'm working on, looking at, got something coming out on that Bill Russell doc. Looking at some of the ways the media talked about players. I mean, this was Bill freaking Russell. And they've got like these racist caricature cartoons of him in the Boston papers. And like, it was okay. Like, and it's not as overt, but you still hear some crazy stuff in the press box. You'd be like, oh, what's how you really feel? So it's, Mahmoud gives you a lot of different things to kind of consider just about that. And, I even asked him in the story, how do you even trust people? Like, how do you trust anyone when probably, from his perspective, he has no reason to trust anybody. So yeah, it's a lot of just, great time, fun times to be alive for sure. This course is a lot different, but just looking back at some of these things, I mean, the stuff I read about Bill Russell was so crazy. I was like, man, I knew about it, but then to hear it, like it made me want to go buy a Bill Russell jersey. And I don't have a Celtics jersey. I'm like not allowed to, being from LA, but I'll rock a Bill Russell.
Yeah, I think you could get a Bill Russell pass.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think you get yeah, like the only giant I would ever wear is Barry Bonds because no one liked him.
I feel that way about Jackie.
That's
Robinson.
The gift exchange this year. We'll get Jason a Barry Bonds jersey and JC a Jackie Robinson jersey.
At 42, man, come on, man, that transcends everything. Another thing we didn't talk to you about when you were on here last time is officially De'Aaron Fox is now on the All-Star game, and he celebrated that announcement with, we talked about it a little bit here at the beginning of this conversation, 2 crazy games on Friday and Saturday. Friday gets overshadowed because Saturday was so great, and the Kings didn't win on Friday. But like I said, he went for 33 and 36. They probably shot 60-something% from the field in both games combined. I mean, he is playing clearly as good as we've ever seen him play right now. And he, in a situation where everybody was trying to see the first game with Luka and Kyrie, the guy that shined the bright was probably De'Aaron Fox that night on Saturday.
Yeah, what do you have? Like 10 points through 3 quarters and finished with like 30 something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, he was worthy of being an all-star. I'm glad he got in. I hate that guys are getting hurt, but he deserved it. This is not like a lifetime achievement award like they gave Dirk and D Wade a few years ago. This isn't like a let me find a guy who maybe could have been an all-star 3 years ago but didn't get it, so let me make it up to him now. This isn't like the Mike Conley lifetime underrated award. This is well deserved. And the West is just so weird this year that's why what we got, like 10 teams represented this year in the All-Star game, 10 or 11. Just it's crazy. But for me, the consistency that De'Aaron had is the biggest thing, because like I said before, we've seen him do it for a week or two. Pretty much now the week or two was when he wasn't playing well this season, or when he was below par, and even then below par was like 16 points.
Yeah.
It wasn't like below par was 6 shots, 9 points, 5 turnovers, and wondering what were you doing. So it's well deserved. He earned it. Yeah. Maybe he could have got a better city than Salt Lake City for it, but hey,
poor guy.
I suspect with a new baby at home, De'Aaron, and he's gonna figure out 2 things. He'll be extremely busy during the day, and he'll probably enjoy some sleep, because I know little ones ain't gonna let Casey over there. He know you ain't getting no pass right now.
Nah.
So he's probably gonna enjoy that just as much as kind of the whole hoopla around being an all-star.
Yeah, little Ryan had me up at 3 a.m. this morning. So adorable, though. How can you get mad at her? Can't.
That's how I feel about you. Like, how could I get mad at you? So adorable. Jay, we appreciate you as always, man. Great work on the podcast, J Street Vibes, and of course, great work on The Athletic. Where's your now former quarterback gonna land?
I don't know. I figure the NFC South. I think they got like 3. They got like at least 3 openings, I think. So I think
Carolina, Tampa Bay, they're open for him down there.
Yeah, I think that's where he'll end up, and then I don't know what the Raiders will do, but the old man is gone, so he's not an option. I would love to see them be able to draft CJ Stroud. I have to move up to get him possibly, but I would love that, because even watching the Super Bowl, you see what happens when you have a quarterback who can run.
Yeah,
he can change some things. So I would like that, but hey, I'm pretty sure all the nice things I said about Josh McDaniels, he's definitely don't listen to me.
Yeah, you and me both. But that's all right. Jay, we appreciate you. Thank you, brother.
appreciate you.
See you next week.
Yep.
Jason Jones right there, The Athletic J Street Vibes podcast.
Yes, sir.
Kings and the Suns, 6 p.m. tonight.
I need a win tonight, baby. I need a win tonight. Like I know I talked earlier about the guys that are still there for Phoenix, and that's it just is what it is. Booker, CP, DeAndre Ayton. I look at a guy like Damian Lee. These guys can they can do some things out there, but I'd be very disappointed if the Sacramento Kings didn't get a win tonight in Phoenix.
I feel like I'm certain I've said this before, and I know we have slightly different feelings on this individual. I was watching Phoenix. It was probably Booker's first game back. I feel like it was a couple of weekends ago. I think it was probably Booker's first game back. I don't get why the DeAndre Ayton thing isn't more effective. Like I watched like Chris Paul to a big at the basket. It's worked everywhere he's gone. Why? And it's not that it's not working in Phoenix. It's just so sketchy in Phoenix. And there's clearly something we don't know. And whatever that may be, whether it's Ayton wants to play a different way, whether Chris Paul's not really feeling him, whether Chris Paul and Devin Booker aren't feeling him, I really don't know what it is.
Monty Williams.
And there's a lot of evidence pointing to that. To me, like that's my biggest concern tonight for sure. That DeAndre Ayton versus Domantas Sabonis battle, I think, is going to be something. And I hate to. I think a lot of this game could actually ride on how it's officiated. Because I think Domas can be physical with DeAndre Ayton, and I don't think Ayton will like that. But if it's officiated like most Domas games are, man, that could change the strategy a little bit and open things up for DeAndre. Should Phoenix decide they want to utilize him tonight?
Yeah.
You talked about JaVale McGee getting some run for Dallas, and wasn't seen before, haven't been seen since. DeAndre Ayton's a ball player. Like, he's a legit ball player. No shot at JaVale McGee, but again, he didn't play before, he didn't play after. Jason Kidd knew. Monty Williams knows. Like, Ayton may touch the ball a lot tonight early.
Yeah, they've seemed to rely on Ayton a little bit more than usual in the last, 2-3 weeks. Like, he's had a couple 30-point games. They're getting him the ball. It looks like they're trying to utilize him the way they probably should.
That's it.
But I mean, and this is something to look at as well. Like, when KD gets there's only so many shots to go around. It's not going to be as much of an issue tonight, but there's only Booker going to get his 20 shots tonight.
Mm-hmm.
KD going to get his 20. Chris Paul probably going to get 15. That leaves DeAndre getting the scraps.
And then maybe that's the thing too. That's my guy, and I love. Maybe Chris Paul needs to chill. Maybe Chris Paul needs maybe he needs a version of the old Dennis Rodman stat. 4 points, 15 assists. He needs one of them joints. I think that'd be extremely effective for him.
He got to shoot,
and he'd save his legs. Why?
Because if he doesn't shoot, then they'll just fall back on 8, and there is no dump off.
It's fine. You can go to Kevin Durant then.
Well, I'm talking about in the pick and roll. Like, the guy that's guarding Paul, the guy that's guarding Ayton, they'll just collapse on Ayton.
No.
And they'll leave Paul open, so he's got to shoot it.
I don't know that they'll catch on to that quick enough. Just Chris Paul going on strike from shooting like Kobe Bryant did that one half.
Kobe said, I was just in the flow of the offense.
Yeah. Y'all said I shoot too much, so.
Yeah, Kobe. That was a classic. Like, this dude really just went on strike in Game 7.
So looking at Ayton's shot attempts, that's not going to be the issue, because he doesn't take it. Like, he scored 20 on 12. Where's the 35? Abnormal. I understand. It's not the norm. He scored 35 on 18 shot attempts. He doesn't go over 20
ever.
Yeah, that's facts. Like, ever. He hasn't gone over 20 one time all year. He's been at 20 shot attempts four times this season, and all of them have been in the 2020. I'm sorry, there's one game he shot 22 times. But he's not he's efficient.
A lot of those, he's very efficient. A lot of those shot attempts, though, also probably will Booker out, so they didn't have nowhere else to go. Now they got other places to go, and they will go there.
He missed
tonight, though. I think he's gonna get some looks. I think he's gonna get his shot attempts. He's gonna get 15 to 18 shot attempts.
That Phoenix roster might be a little bit deeper than we're giving it credit for.
It is.
They won. If my math checks out, it absolutely does check out. They won 3 games without DeAndre or Devin Booker.
No, that's when you have Michael and Cam.
Yeah, so it's a different version of the
you
team.
Bring those two back in. You still got Damian Lee. Like I said, you still got Torrey Craig. I like my man Okoli. What's his name? Josh
Okogie. Yeah, you mentioned him at the top of the show. If you're listening on ESPN 1320 or the Odyssey app and you want more Kings talk, don't worry. We're going to run it back with Will Z, Jake Gadon, Jason Jones next on Sacramento Sports Leader ESPN 1320.
Go Kings!
Let's go, Shannon. Let's go, Shannon. Have fun, baby. Have fun out there. Represent.
Yeah, man.
Look towards the sky like the beam now.
Did you know there's shuttles that they pick you up at the Galleria and take you to the Kings game?
I did not.
Yeah, I saw that the other day.
Will they take me home at halftime? Guys, we got to shut it down. Squints is here all week, so I know he's going to need to get in here. come on, Big Lucia. You
Yeah,
got to
come
be.
on.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Come on.
We've been doing this for 3 years. Stop it. Stop it, man. Ask a classmate if you have to.
It's good class.
Come on, man.
That's how I be telling the 10-year-olds.
There
No,
you go.
ask your teammate.
Ask your teammate
what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, come on, man. All right, we love you guys, man. Again, we're gonna be tapping out right after the show all week to give up our studio. We'll see you guys tomorrow at noon. Let's go, Kings,
baby. Let's go.
Or noon-ish.